All right, welcome on into another episode of Oh So Curious times DCU Daily. Well, this is the first Oh So Curious times DCU Daily we have done in a long time because we have Lizz back on the show, and so we can review a couple of movies, including we got Shadow Force today. We also have to talk about Fight or Flight, which to me just looks like Bullet Train on a plane. And we'll look ahead, of course, to Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning in what could be the greatest, highest grossing box office weekend for Memorial Day. So we'll talk about all of those movies, of course, but we're also here to talk about a lot of Marvel and DC. We have some new rumors regarding Avengers Doomsday, as well as Spider-Man Brand New Day. There's a spoilery Funko Pop out there now for Fantastic Four, so when we get to it, we'll give you the spoiler warning. There's also potentially some spoilery action figures from Superman that we have to talk about. And one insider in Hollywood has his opinion on the opening weekend box office for Superman, so we'll talk about that. And then there's a report out there that Matt Reeves might be delivering the first draft of the Batman 2 script very, very soon. So we have to discuss that as well. So we'll have our DCU Daily segment. And since it's a Friday, we're going to do a Q&A. So we picked out 5 of your comments, and we'll talk about those on the show. So to do that and so much more, let's hit that intro, and then I'll bring in Lizz and John on the other side before we dive into the news. All right, well, it's gonna be the news at the top of the show like we usually do, but before we get into the news topics, let me bring on in my co-host today. We have got Lizz and John. Well, I'm gonna start with you, Lizz, since we haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been, and what have you been up to?
Hey everybody, I missed you. I really have. Just really busy. My cousin got married last weekend. Shout out Andrea and Kelly. But glad to be back. Love all y'all. Really excited to talk about all kinds of things tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be lots and lots of fun. And speaking of which, John, how are you doing today? Having any fun yet?
I'm doing okay. Bit of a weird day. I feel like the days are just going way quicker than they should be, even though the days are technically longer now because it's reaching the summer, but like it's weird. I feel like it's just by that, it's just bam, doom. There we go. Father time. To hell with you. I don't know
what your lighting is real nice tonight, John. Your skin looks really good.
Because my new webcam that's now mobile. I can move myself.
All right,
you'll have to send me the link. I think I need that.
Let's hit that. Let's hit that news intro.
It's good.
And we'll get the show started.
Sorry.
Nope.
Doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number 2.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne. I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chords.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
All right, well, let's kick off the news, shall we? So the first thing that I wanted to get into today on the news front is, well, the box office for the upcoming weekend, right? This is the pre-Memorial Day box office, and the big movie this week is the new Warner Brothers horror film Final Destination: Bloodlines, which I've just been getting a lot of I've been watching normal TV today a little bit as opposed to streaming, so I've been seeing a lot more ads for Final Destination: Bloodlines, and so like I'm starting to get a better idea of like what this movie is going to be like. But the opening weekend looks like, it's going to be bringing in around $43 million, which is really good number for Warner Brothers, especially already on a streak with Sinners. Still in theaters in its 5th weekend, and Minecraft is still out there. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? I mean, I want to get your reaction first. Liz, what do you think about how Final Destination Bloodlines might be starting out at the box office?
Excuse me, Thunderbolts is still out as well.
That's true.
No,
Actually, that is very true.
I think it's gonna do well. I am tempted to see it, but also I really don't like a ton of gore, and from all the trailers and commercials I've seen, it looks gross. So I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of on the fence. But hey, if you guys are stands of those films, I hope you'll love them. I hope you get a chance to check it out. But it doesn't surprise me. I think the numbers are going to be pretty big. They have a really strong fan base, and I'm sure like a lot of people from my generation who have like teenage kids are going to be like, oh my God, you have to come see this because the original film like has traumatized me my whole life. So now they want to pass that trauma along to the next generation. And you know what? I'm here for it.
Yeah, that logging truck. That dang logging truck. I think that was Final Destination 2, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because that wasn't in the first one, and I love them. I will say I have no plans to see this movie. Nothing against it. I just haven't seen a single one, and it doesn't really interest me. But I love the marketing, how they have like logging trucks that have like Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yep.
Like be careful, and it's like and then it has like coming this Friday and all that stuff. I love that. And it's great. I mean, it's Tony Todd's technically his final. It is his final performance because I think The Bunker came out last year, even though that's getting a wide release this year later. But I'm pretty sure this was his real like final performance, and it makes sense because like he was a pretty much a mainstay for the franchise for most of the entries. He was in one as Bloodworth. He was in 1, 2, 5, and 6. And then he was in as a cameo for 3, and then 4 he wasn't in, which makes sense because that was the worst one. So, no Tony Todd, you don't get a good movie. And plus, they pushed 3D. They called it The Final Destination instead of Final Destination 4 for some reason. So there was that as well.
That 3D trend didn't last long.
But I'll go in honor of Tony Todd. I'll go see The Bunker. That looks interesting to me. That looks kind of like a bottle movie. All takes place in like one location kind of thing. Definitely my vibe. So, and plus it's got Tobin Bell in it, and Tobin Bell's also great. So yeah, I mean, again, nothing against it. Like, it's just like I'm indifferent. Like, I haven't seen any other movies. I don't have interest in seeing those movies to prepare for this movie. And it seems a bit ridiculous how it's like Death went after all these people, like Devon Sawa and, Mary Elizabeth Winstead and all these other people all the time. And then it turns out the whole time there was this broad from the 50s that like had an entire bloodline of people, and now Death is coming after them. It's like, you were kind of late on that a little bit, Death. I don't know what the hissy hap is with that. But I'm sure it's explained in the movie, but that's a bit ridiculous to me.
But I was just gonna say, John, the opening weekend is looking good. Financially, right? That's because
way to go. Another one for horror.
As far as Final Destination goes, this might be a record opening for the whole franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, I mean, we've mentioned earlier, yes, Thunderbolts is still around and doing great for Disney. Actually, great would be, I think, an exaggeration. It's doing good. It's doing good. For a Marvel standards, great would mean a lot more, but it's doing good. And then, we still have a number of other films. But as far as Warner Brothers go, like for a studio that has really struggled for I don't know how many years at this point, whether it's the DCEU or like those Harry Potter spin-off movies, they've been on a streak now where after Mickey 17 didn't do so well, the Minecraft movie is on its way to $1 billion now. You can even watch it at home, but it's still in movie theater. So it's crossed the $900 million mark. It's the highest grossing movie of the year. Sinners in its 5th weekend, it's still making like in the $15 to $16 million range. And then this movie, Final Destination Bloodlines, as it says right there, it made $5.5 million on its preview day yesterday, and so leading up to potentially as much as a $43 million opening weekend. That's gonna be a high for the franchise. So hopefully that means that Warner Brothers can continue that winning streak that they've got going, because of course, not too long after this movie, we're gonna get the next big one for Warner Brothers is gonna be Superman, which comes out in less than a month's time now. So, well, actually, a couple less than 2 months time, I should say. And Warner Brothers they've had a few risky ones this year, and so far the risks are paying off. Outside of Mickey 17, Sinners was considered risky. Minecraft movie, people thought it was gonna do well, but not nearly as well as we have seen it do. Final Destination Bloodlines is also another one that a lot of people thought was a risky move, might not work out, and so far it's looking like it will work out. So with that in mind, guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think about it. Are you looking forward to seeing it? Have you already seen it? If you have, give us your review down below. We'd love to hear from you. Final Destination Bloodlines, is it an improvement on what we have seen in recent times from the franchise? Does it bring the franchise back to life for you? And you know, we'd love to hear from you guys in the chat, whether you're watching live or in the comments down below. In the meantime, we will switch gears because we do have to talk about, I mentioned earlier, Superman, less than 2 months away. So let's dive into that. We have been covering Superman this week to the greatest extent possible because they dropped a new trailer, Liz. And so you can imagine we have spent like a dozen hours, no joke, and quite literally talking about Superman, breaking down every frame of the trailer. We're still finding new things, and we'll talk about a few of them today. And we have a few more even beyond that for, I'm saving a few because there's so much, like we have so much to cover. We can't make another 2-hour-long episode just about Superman, as much as we'd love to.
But you'll try.
We will try. I mean, trust me, if John overslept the trailer reaction, but it's so.
I didn't want to say that on air, but thanks for airing my dirty laundry.
Yes, well, it happened live on air. I can't like, you know, like we can't hide it forever. But anyway,
you ruined the chocolate syrup joke, and now you're airing my laundry, my guy.
That's all right. Well, we still got in like a good 2.5 hours that day reacting to the trailer, but we got to talk about the movie itself. Because there's a rumor out there, or I guess you could say from an insider, from John's favorite Hollywood insider. You guys can already guess in the chat who that is. He's been saying that Superman might be looking at $175 million opening weekend. And well, the latest test screenings he supposedly heard from somebody how that went. So let's dive into it for a moment, shall we, John? Before you discredit all of it, let's kind of go in and see what was said. On the Hot Mic podcast, Jeff Snyder, Hollywood insider, revealed that he has heard Superman is currently tracking big. The insider strongly hinted that a $775 million opening weekend in North America is possible, but he's not convinced that it will reach $200 million during that first weekend. He's also unsure about Superman becoming a $1 billion blockbuster. But then he also added that along with some good news came some bad news. He recently heard from somebody who was at a test screening for the movie that Superman stinks. Now, of course, these are, you know, at best you can classify them as rumors because, you know, we don't know for sure how much of this is true. I mean, the first part of it might as well be just opinion, or he might have heard from some industry researchers because, you know, he's got connections with outlets that do that kind of work, which will give you that long range forecast for the movie's box office. We will keep an eye out. I mean, I literally subscribe to a couple of sites that give us that, you know, 3 or 4 week projections from movies opening weekend. I haven't seen Superman pop up there yet, but you know, maybe Jeff Snyder has access to sources that we don't, which is very possible. So I want to start with you, Liz, on this again. Your thoughts on the idea that Superman might be on its way to $175 million opening weekend. The new trailer already is making a lot of waves. Obviously, you heard about how well the first trailer did. The social media conversations loud. So do you expect this number to hold, or do you think this is way off the mark?
I mean, no, I'm very hopeful. I don't think it'll reach 2. I think any other weekend it might reach 2, but that month, as we know, is just jam-packed with monster hits that are going to be driving a lot of butts and seats into the theaters. But again, it's going to force people to make choices as to what film they're going to go out and see. So it's going to be tricky as far as opening weekend, even just for the month, those numbers. I still am very, very hopeful that it'll make a bill worldwide. I still truly believe that it will, just because the response has been phenomenal. The marketing has been excellent. The buzz about it hasn't stopped since they started filming, since they signed the contract, since they announced that this was happening. So I'm extremely optimistic, extremely hopeful for this project, and I'm looking forward to it myself. But as far as that particular, opening weekend, I would say 150, 175 is fair. Again, considering everything else that it's up against that month. So, good luck to them. I hope they just rake in all the dollar bills, y'all. Good for y'all.
Fair enough. I mean, look, I think a lot of us are still healthy skeptics, like, fingers crossed, like
Oh,
Main
sure,
Man fan
yeah.
is doing in the chat. Five Ash simply saying it won't make that, and just some geeky guys saying Superman has as much a chance to make $1 billion as I have a chance to win the lottery. So not really confident. And Five Ash predicting 750 to 800 million. So now that's the overall, box office. Now, the movie doesn't have to start at 175 million to get there. It could start with a lot less and still make $1 billion if it's doing well enough. It also depends on how much money it makes abroad, like outside of North America. This is just simply the North American number, where I believe the current record is what is it? I don't think it's the current record, but the most recent one to cross a 200 million was Deadpool and Wolverine. Like it was 210 or something million dollars that it did in the opening weekend in North America, which is insane. The last movie to have a number in the $175 million range, I think it might have been like the last Spider-Man movie. Or certainly was an MCU film. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did quite well. So, and the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange, that one was good too. So, John, same question to you. $175 million opening weekend. Is this believable? Also, the test screenings, Superman stinks. 2 words, very short. And
who said it?
uncles,
Zack
friends, best
Snyder?
friends,
Like
neighbors,
who?
husbands,
Like,
wife,
please.
brother, sister. I don't
It's
know.
like,
Dads,
oh yeah,
brides, and dads.
the
Out here.
400,000th test screening that Jeff Snyder has apparently reported on. That this thing it's totally guys, it's 100% true. I swear. This is, you know what, Jeff Snyder being right is the chances of Jeff Snyder being right is equal to just some geeky guy winning the lottery. Next to like, what is it, 325 million to 1 to win the lottery? Yeah, that sounds about right. So it's just, it's just ridiculous at this point. Like, why does this guy still have a fucking platform? It's like the amount of bullshit he claims. Honestly, I'm surprised that, like, with the amount of times like DC has sued like what was it, like Costa Rican bakeries, it's like you'd think that they would like sue a guy for defamation with the amount of bullshit that comes out of his fucking mouth. Sorry, but like, it's just like ridiculous at this point. Like, why does this guy still have, why do people like this still have, I understand freedom of speech, but hey, YouTube and Google are a private company and they'll do anything for, top dollar people like DC Comics and Warner Brothers. So I'm just saying, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but free speech is free. That's all it is. It's just like, just with the amount of stuff like he claims, I'm just surprised that like something related to the law has not come up, especially with like DC and like Marvel and all these other people that crack down on like, oh my God, this bakery called themselves Super Pan. Oh my God, we have to sue them. That was an actual thing, by the way. Or like another bakery that was called Super Mario. Nintendo tried to sue them and they failed, which is great. But it's just, I'm just, Jeff Snyder, just please stop. Just stop. Nobody wants to hear your fucking bullshit mouth spewing stuff. We don't want to hear it anymore. Nobody wants to hear it. It's just ridiculous. I'm just tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired of this guy. Why do we still have to talk about him? I don't want to hear it anymore. It's just grueling. When I hear Jeff, I just want to jump off a bridge. Like, it's just tiring. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm out. Like, I'm just going to say this. If Jeff Snyder ever gets like talked about on the show again, I'm just going to leave because I can't anymore. I can't deal with it anymore. I can't deal with this dude anymore. Grace Randolph is one other thing, but like, this dude is just, God, he's like the human version of like a hemorrhoid. He just doesn't go away and like is just there, and it just like pokes you in like the worst spot. It's just painful. It's just, I don't know. He's a hemorrhoid. That's all he is to me. He's a hemorrhoid. I'm done.
Cool. You sure? I was like, wait. We have Antonio in the chat, by the way. Monique joined in. Be Positive 99 is here. Enterprising is here. So everybody's showing up to an unexpected and yet predictable John rant on Jeff Snyder. I'm so happy we got that in today. Stevens, I was trying to keep track of the topic you want us to talk about, but like let us know again in the chat. Okay, so in general, 175 million. I think it's a very optimistic number. It's still too early to tell because yes, the new trailer is great, or like I guess there's some detractors, but overall it seems to be hitting with a lot of people. So yeah, I think right now I'm a little skeptical that we can proclaim 175 million. From the sounds of it, even Jeff Snyder himself seems to be more or less talking about it as an opinion than he is about as something of a fact. He's like, yeah, I think I could see it doing 175 million. As far as the test screening information goes, I really don't care for that. Like right now, it's too early. It doesn't matter. And then the graphic earlier that I had put up, it has been trending #1 on the trailer for Superman on YouTube for a long time. I don't know if it's still #1 today, but it was #1 pretty much for the last couple.
It was
days
number
in a
4.
row.
I
Number
watched
4,
the trailer
so-
again today, and it was number 4 when I watched it earlier.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's got to like eventually, drop off a little bit. Now, James Gunn, of course, we talked about it yesterday. Mark Waid posting that James Gunn put street in the movie named after the writer, Wade Street, which is shown when Superman is being arrested in the movie. And well, James Gunn kind of thanked him, saying, just a small token of our gratitude to you, Mark Waid, and your contributions to the decades-long collaboration that is Superman. Our Superman movie was created by our crew in the present day, but couldn't exist without you, Otto, Elliot, Carrie, John, Dan, Jeff, and the other Jeff, Grant, Alan, not to mention Joe and Jerry, and so many more who brought forth different aspects and personalities and possibilities of this iconic figure for good in this world. So
he's thanking us, Dan. We did something. We totally
John
did
and
something
Dan.
for Superman.
Yes.
Thank you, James Gunn. We appreciate it.
It's okay.
It's all right. I'll get over it. It'll be all right. He'll thank me when I go see it in theaters. So.
Well, I just wanted to kind of bring that up because I think it was nice for James Gunn to do that. But the next big thing for Superman we had to discuss, and you guys are popping off in the chat. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Of course, Ron is here. Ron in the chat. Hello, Ron. How are you doing today? Monumental Comics dropping in as well. Hope you are well. Saying James Gunn seemed to drop this new Superman trailer quick after Thunderbolts. He's confident. It certainly seems like it. I mean, hey, it's not a competition, but it sure as hell, feels good to be winning. Not saying that it's winning. I mean, the Superman the movie has not come out yet, so let's not, put our cart before the horse, as it were. So, speaking of putting the cart before the horse, though, a lot of times what happens is we get a bunch of stuff about a movie spoiled through the action figures. So, it seems like we have got a little bit of that happening today for both Marvel and DC. We'll talk about the Marvel stuff later, but right now, spoiler alert, as it says in the article. So if you guys don't want this spoiled for you, we do get a look apparently at the war suit for Lex Luthor and whoever Baby Joey is. So let's take a quick look at the photos, and I want you guys to kind of give me your reactions to this. So here we are. I'm gonna see if I can click through these and make them a little bit bigger. So we've got these new Luthor Corp Lab toy sets that include obviously Superman, Mr. Terrific, and Metamorpho, who we have seen before. We have seen them in the trailer now. You've got Crypto there. My question for you guys would be, what the hell is Baby Joey? And your thoughts on the mech suit, the war suit for Lex Luthor, which, to be honest, looks very similar to the other soldiers, the Lex Corp soldiers in the movie. I'll start with you, John. What are your reactions to this? Like,
I mean, I mean, I don't know if this is 100% going to be in the movie, but I mean, it's pretty much been confirmed that like Lex is probably gonna get the mech suit because I mean you see like his soldiers having like mech suit kind of things in the movie, so that makes sense. And then so it's pretty much like, yeah, he's probably gonna get it. So this kind of confirms that if it's true. I have no dang clue what the heck that green baby is. I don't know what
Baby
it
Joey.
is. I don't know.
Is that what happened to the baby that the Flash put in a microwave? Is that what it would? Is that what you think
Maybe,
it-
maybe.
You know, like we're just
n-
getting the
I
aftermath.
like the only thing I can think of like in terms of like a green character is like Martian Manhunter, but he's John Jones, not Joey. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. A very young John Jones, if it were. Ron saying, though, rightfully so, there was a mech suit advertised as a toy for the Batman v Superman movie. Never happened in the movie itself. So it's very possible this isn't actually part of the movie, or if it were at
Yeah.
one point, it might have been removed or changed. Because these toys are approved way in advance of these movies getting into post production. So things change over time. Yeah, Ron saying Martian Manhunter's kid. It could be it. Monique saying the paint job on Soup's cronies looks awful. Cronies? Wait, what? Conies? I don't know what that means. It is very well. It's an action figure though, so I'm like, it doesn't need a ton of texture. Although the bulge is very much highlighted. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
You know.
Liz, you care to add any your thoughts to this?
No, I
matter
mean
here?
they look like your average run of the mill action figures, so cool. Yeah, I don't understand the green baby necessarily, but I'm gonna see the film, so I'll find out hopefully, and good for the kids. I hope everyone
for
gets
the
one of
kids.
these under their Christmas tree this year.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, we'll just have to wait and see when in the movie, if ever, Lex Luthor puts on the mech suit. And well, Baby Joey. I'm sure Baby Joey will be popular with the kids. Anyway, James Gunn did also specify. I mean, we went over this a little bit yesterday, talking about the fact that Rick Flag Sr. is going to be the head of Argus in the movie, not the Secretary of Defense. But also in that same thread, James Gunn did mention that there are no origin stories in this movie, which is again something we have kind of known for a while. But he did also say Lex Luthor is not the president, or doesn't become the president. At least it sounds like. Are you guys surprised to hear that we're not going that route, or at least not yet? Do you think we'll ever go that route in this universe?
I don't think we will, especially now. It's just too on the nose.
Yeah.
Especially who Lex Luthor was based off in the 80s. John Burns said he's based off of the man who shall not be named, so to keep it level playing field here. But I just think it was a cool, like a nice, like I think it was just like because James Gunn says he edits these trailers himself, or at least he like oversees
He's
it.
the producer on them, yeah.
So I think that was just kind of like in the trailer when Lois asked, "Did you ask the president?" and Lex Luthor is shown. I just think that was a wink and a nod to the fact that Lex Luthor has become the president in the comics, in Smallville, in a lot of other places. So yeah, I think that was just like a cute wink and a nod. I don't think they're gonna do that. It's just way too on the nose now, and just a little too, just a little bit too ridiculous. So I think we're not gonna see that anytime soon because of that. But yeah, Frank Grillo looking angry, definitely, with that floofy haircut.
Yep. Oh yeah. He does not look happy. It looks like somebody ripped him a new one, and he's ready to rip Superman a new one as a result of that. The other thing I wanted to kind of quickly bring up, I thought it was curious that on the newly minted Uno reverse card version of HBO Max, because it used to be called HBO Max, then it was Max, and now it's HBO Max again. They have a listing for Superman. You can go on there. It says coming soon, and then tells you, that you can go see it in the movie theater on July 11th. But they also list the cast for the movie, the whole cast, which is obviously a lot of names: David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, and you've got the rest of the guys that we've been talking about for weeks and months. But one name on the list stands out, and that's Millie Alcock which we assume would be Supergirl, because that's the character she's meant to be playing in our own Supergirl movie next year, which is part of the same universe. So my question here simply is this somebody not doing their job of hiding the surprise? Or is this an error of some kind? Is Millie Alcock in the movie? And the follow-up question would be, how much of the movie is she going to be in, if she is indeed in there? Liz, I'll start with you. How do you expect her to be a part of the film? Is it a post-credit scene? What is it?
Well, I've talked about this before. I mean, maybe a post-credit scene, but I almost wonder if like just randomly she's just gonna fly in there, just appear for a beat. I really don't know. I'm not sure what direction they're looking to go with this. I'm assuming we're gonna get it at the very. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen any more than this, but I'm assuming we're gonna get 2 post-credit scenes. So we'll see what happens. I'm really not sure how they're gonna go with this one.
Yeah, it's a mystery to all of us, but we've been talking about it for a long time because the rumor has been floating for months that she's going to be in the movie. If anything, this would be like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like it confirms it. Like there it is. Her name is right there. It's not IMDb.
Right.
It's literally HBO Max. So they must know what they're talking about. John, what do you think?
I think it'll be like a cameo at most and a post-credit scene at least, but that's kind of it. I don't think anything outside of that. I don't think she's going to be in the movie for more than 2 minutes, not even. So yeah, as Dan said, after credits or final minutes for sure. Yeah, I can see them doing like as sort of like a tease. I can see them maybe like doing like her pod, like post credit scene, her pod crashes down and he meets her, and that's what happens. Or like she was like, oh shit, I was off world, what happened? And like what happened? And then it's like, oh, why were you off world? And then we see why she was off world in Supergirl. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's probably the most likely situation here. I don't know, guys. What do you think in the chat? Let's see. Most of you guys are kind of on the same page. That she's gonna come in quick and then leave real fast, or be only in a small part of the movie. Oh, Oscar winner Brie Larson is set to star in creature horror film Failsafe, with J.J. Abrams producing in Film Nation, WME and CAA launching the hot project at the con market. Okay, be positive. Nice. Well, we're about to get into the quick hits soon, so that's a nice quick hit. There's a lot of stuff like that. We have a few con related stories today as well. And yeah, Steven had something for us earlier. I can't find it in the chat. I'm sure we'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, let us know, guys, in the comments what you think about Supergirl being a part of the movie. Justin Geeky Guy dropping in some super chats. Thank you again. We have the first one ready for you when we get to the Batman conversation. Well, we will also load up the second one that you just dropped, since they're both about the Batman. Ron saying, what if she is the green baby and grows fast? Okay, for her in the movie. You know what? That's, I suppose, in a James Gunn movie that might be possible, although probably not very it's probably not very tasteful. So I don't know how true this is, but anyway, thank you for the suggestion there. Let's move on to the next topic. We'll have more DC stuff coming up later in the show. We'll have the Batman 2 story that Justin Geeky Guy's been talking about, and we have a lot of other stuff, including some Sergeant Rock information that might be relevant to when they pick up production again on the movie. Right now, though, what I want to talk about first and foremost is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The critics' reviews are out. There's a Rotten Tomatoes rating now, so we have to talk about the movie that's coming out on Memorial Day weekend. It may not be the biggest movie of the weekend because Lilo and Stitch will eat everybody's lunch, but
oh yeah,
it might be the better movie. So let's talk about it, shall we? So let me bring you guys in. Let's discuss this. I want to go through a few of the reviews that they're pointed out here. Of course, the budget for this movie was close to 400 million. I mentioned that yesterday on the show because of all the stoppages with the strikes and everything, the stunts that they have in this movie. I'm sure they were like, this is the final one. Give him all the money that he can't, that he needs. Blah blah blah. But for example, in the Hollywood Reporter, what the David Rooney's review for the movie said, Cruz's commitment to performing his own stunts and giving audiences the analog thrill of in-camera daredevilry instead of digital fakery, what fun words those are, has progressed to ever more astonishing feats over the course of 8 Mission Impossible movies. It's the key reason for this franchise's longevity. And then he continues on. I'm not going to read the whole review. USA Today's Brian Truitt said, overall, there's an Avengers Endgame feel to Final Reckoning, throwing back to plot points and characters from previous films. If the Final Reckoning is indeed at hand, you couldn't ask for a better death-defying, free-falling, edge-of-your-dang-seat send-off. That is quite the review right there. I feel like that's enough for me to then just switch over to Rotten Tomatoes. And 81%, it's certified fresh though. It's not like 95%, but 81%, it's certified fresh. It's got 152 reviews and well, that number is pretty darn good. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Liz. Is this number lower than you expected? And overall, the reviews that we just ran through, and I'll pull up a few others here. Are you surprised by what you're seeing from the movie?
Yeah, I feel like it is kind of low. I mean, again, I think people still kind of get the ick whenever we hear the name Tom Cruise. I certainly do. So I struggle with supporting any of his projects. However, he does give his all into it. It is cool to see. He did nearly unalive himself in this one with one of the stunts. So, I appreciate his passion and his dedication and the fact that he's willing to do the work. But at the same time, Tom Cruise gives me the ick. So I think, maybe that's part of the reason that the score isn't as high as I expect. Or maybe they just felt like, the previous film, especially the previous film, they advertised that one stunt, the motorcycle off the mountainside so heavily to the point, I mean, they were showing it ahead of other films in the theater, for a couple of weeks prior to the release. And we just haven't been seeing the same kind of marketing this time around. So maybe people are underwhelmed by the stunts, even though they are, again, he almost lost his life doing one of them. Or maybe people are just kind of numb to it now. Like we're just expecting to see these over the top stunts. So like, oh, okay, it's just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise. I'm not sure, but again, I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to make a crap ton of money in the box office. It's going to be insane. And if this is the final Mission Impossible, good luck to him, and hopefully we never see him again. So, except for like Top Gun. And that's, again, that's the only time you should ever leave the house. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it certainly so far feels like they've been advertising it. They've been playing it up at the red carpet premieres across the world like it's the final one. Tom Cruise isn't quite saying yes or no. He's keeping it open-ended.
And he will. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got a Grace Randolph review there. Let's just skip past that. Let's take a look at some of the other ones. Anthony from the Movie Podcast saying Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is a thrilling and show-stopping cinematic event. Tom Cruise and McHugh, as in Christopher McQuarrie, the director, give us everything in this nonstop, nerve-shredding spectacle that goes deeper and darker than ever before. Another review here from Empire Magazine, John Nugent, saying a tense, naughty opening act that yields to some of Tom Cruise's most impressive stunts yet, ending the film and perhaps the series on a high. John, what are your thoughts on this? Are you again surprised by the number? It's sitting at 81% right now, which seems a little low, relatively speaking, but it's 152 reviews and it's already certified fresh. So it definitely does, have that distinction, as it were. What do you think about the reviews so far, John?
I mean, it doesn't mean a ton to me because it's Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't like Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes kind of sucks. So, and plus it's critics. That means even less to me. I'll see what the only thing I really pay attention to at this point is what people around me who have similar interests to me say, because that means a lot more to me than some random word I can't say on the internet who's just spews crap for a living says. Like I'll listen to the people I like who are like I trust. I don't really listen to Rotten Tomatoes. I don't really listen. Metacritic is okay. IMDb is okay. Letterboxd is when I like look for stuff that's like, for the most part, similar to me.
But the vast majority of people out there do go with Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, what is the score? And if it is not good, that's one less reason that it's a detractor. So it doesn't matter in the general conversation, I feel like. And to that end, the vast majority of the critics, 81% of the critics, think it's a good movie. And we have seen some mixed reviews. Nobody's saying this is the best movie ever. But they are saying in general that it ends the series on a high note. It may be a little long, stuff like that. But you know what, though? Since the movie-going experience is, well, an experience, you need to have some food. You need to have some popcorn along the way. So why not grab yourself the Mission Impossible popcorn bucket? Because this bucket will explode in 5 seconds, or I kind of messed that up. This popcorn bucket will self-destruct in 5 seconds. And Well, they put it out there, and you can get it at the Cinemark and other participating theaters. Not the most impressive thing I've ever seen, considering some of the creative stuff we get to see from the other movies, John and Liz. But what are your thoughts on this? This is the popcorn bucket for the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I don't think it's
Boring.
self-destructs. For
Boring.
real. That would be kind of
Boring.
dangerous.
As I said
But,
before, like, what marketing intern took 2 seconds to come up with this? Do the
100%.
posters or clips of all the other movies and put them on a popcorn bucket. Wow.
100%. Yeah,
Crazy.
like AI put this together. Like, as John and I, as you all know, are connoisseurs of popcorn buckets, and they have evolved over time. They've gotten extremely
There
elaborate.
they are.
They've,
You can see them on the top a little bit.
every time I see just a standard tin now, I'm like, "Psh, get that weak sauce out of here. I'm not fucking, especially because they're charging $29.99 for that. Like, it's not like it's a $5 bucket. They're charging top dollar. Sure, you get a large popcorn with it if you so choose, but don't come at me with that weak sauce. Especially, we're talking about, this is supposedly the final film. This is the last film. Tom Cruise literally put his life on the line for it, and this is the kind of freaking
To be fair, he
pathetic
puts
ass
his life on the line
popcorn.
for all of his movies now.
But I'm just saying, he nearly unalived.
That's like the bare minimum for a Tom Cruise
My point is, they had to bring the boy back this time. My point is, this is the fucking weak sauce that you are trying to bring to the table. Absolutely not. And if
it should have been Tom Cruise's face. Like, I will still like.
Clearly,
I think it should have just been like Tom Cruise's face, or I don't know, like maybe the rabbit's foot from Mission Impossible 3, because I know that's kind of in the movie a little bit, or like design the weird AI mask. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Yeah, the AI mask thing would be cool. Like, it should just be, it could very well be just a plain bucket, but like when you open the lid, it has like a smoking feature or something. Like something, just, this does nothing.
Or no, it actually explodes.
But also, quite
and then
frankly,
you die,
like,
and then that's it.
no, but also, quite frankly, like, Mission Impossible, like, really doesn't need a popcorn bucket. Like, this is just a cash grab. This is their attempt at a cash grab, and it's gonna blow up in their face, pun intended, because nobody's gonna fucking buy this shit. So there's gonna be a lot of this crap just sitting around in movie theater shelves, pissing off the staff that they have to deal with it.
Didn't the Marvels have like the Ronin hammer? Wasn't that like what it was? Didn't some movie have like this weird awkward hammer? I don't remember.
The War of the Rohirrim had a huge.
That's what it was. Okay.
And I mean, I thought that shit was cool as. I'd put that on my wall for sure. I almost picked one up.
Yeah.
But again, when you think Mission Impossible, you don't think, oh, what kind of toy, what kind of, popcorn. So there's really,
I guess maybe that's why they
it.
went plain for it, because it's like not a toy thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is clearly just an attempt at a cash grab. Like, have they done popcorn buckets in the past? I don't recall.
I don't think so.
Why
like,
now?
Lilo and Stitch makes more sense. Have Stitch
100%.
like you remove his head, like the top of his head, and then you eat popcorn out of it.
100%.
There you go. Easy.
Absolutely.
And it's cute and cuddly. Kids would love it.
Popcorn buckets are more for like family-friendly films, kiddie films.
I mean, I say that with a Dune popcorn bucket that looks like a hole, the monkey, and the sarcophagus from Nosferatu. So,
again. But even like in popcorn bucket, realm, like even the Nosferatu sarcophagus is fairly plain, but it makes sense. It was something physically in the film. This doesn't make any sense at all. Again, other than this is just an attempt at a cash grab. So miss me with this one, folks. That's all I'm saying. We've got other popcorn buckets coming, and I will be buying them all up because I can't help myself. So, hooray.
Cool. All right. Well, that was the popcorn bucket review, but I mean, do you guys care to give your predictions for how much money this movie will make at the box office opening weekend?
All of it. Oh my God. Worldwide, please. Please.
Worldwide.
If it's allowed to go to China, the Chinese love these fucking movies. So he's, pardon my French. So he's going to be making good for him. Good for you, Tom. Enjoy your pile of money. Buy an island. Stay there. Never return. So
why do you hate
great.
Tom Cruise.
I don't hate Tom. But anyway, good for them. I'm gonna see it. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the last film. I really, really like these movies. Again, this is the only time Tom Cruise should leave the house, and I'm glad that he's kind of been sticking with that. So enjoy your mountain of money that you can, you know, do
Scrooge
some kind of
McDuck that
extreme
thing.
stunt off of, what have you. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Tommy. Good job, buddy. We'll see you for the next Top Gun, Bell.
Yeah, and I mean we'll
And the Days
talk
of Thunder
about,
sequel that might never happen now because of F1.
well, I mean it might still happen. It might just become more likely. In fact, I would imagine.
Who knows if it makes money? If F1 makes money, hopefully.
It's
I want F1 to be successful so badly, not because I like Joseph Kosinski, not because I think it looks like a good movie, but because just as a screw you to Disney, who decided to go with the guy who directed Pirates 5 and Maleficent 2 versus the man who made $1 billion
And
at
her
the box
name
office.
was Maleficent. Fuck, I hate those movies. Oh, it makes
Okay.
me so angry.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I think we've probably beaten this topic to death at this point. So let's move on.
This Tom
but-
pick. I'm not
Yeah,
sorry.
Yes. Okay. Cool. We'll talk about Mission Impossible a little bit later when we preview the movie next. It's coming out next week. We'll talk about Lilo and Stitch more as well. Right now, though, let's change gears. Before we do, though, let us know in the comments down below. Do you think that Tom Cruise's potentially last Mission Impossible movie, is it rated high enough on Rotten Tomatoes? Is 81% too low? It's certified fresh, though. What did you guys think about it? Let us know in the comments down below. And, well, we're going to keep on going with the news, except now we're going to switch focus. We're going to get on to some faster news stories. So let me pop those open here for a second. But before I do that, John, I just wanted to get Lizz's opinion on the Superman trailer, because I don't know if you're going to get that chance proper, because we have so much other stuff going on. But
And
Liz,
I'm
did you
just
get a chance to check out the
busy.
trailer?
I sure
Or-
did. I really
What did you
enjoyed
think
it.
about
And I like that, again, like, I think James Gunn really drove home for the 100th time, but for audiences who haven't been following and aren't on the interwebs and all that shit, he really drove home the fact that this is not an origin story. We see that Superman and Lois have already established a relationship. They have a connection. She is like, again, he's agreed to sit down and be interviewed as Superman, and she's really excited about it, but she's hitting him with some hard questions that maybe he wasn't expecting from his girlfriend. And they showed us so much. They just left me hungry for more. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I thought they did a great job. It was really nice to see. And again, it's what I've kind of been asking for. I was like, I don't understand the direction of this film. Like, we need more of a story. Like, the teaser trailer that they gave us doesn't explain a whole lot, whereas this kind of gives us more of an idea of what's happening, in the world, how people are feeling about Superman. How there's conflict where some people are for him, some people are against him. He's trying to walk that fine line of doing right by everyone, but at the same time, like, she's like, why aren't you checked in with so and so? Like, why aren't you working with the government, or are you working with the government? And he's like, I'm just doing what is right. And I'm like I think it's interesting that you can hear him being like, he's like, why aren't you appreciative of what I'm doing? Like, why are you questioning my motives? So I love it. It makes him more human, and it brings a different element, a different, level of emotion to it. So I think it was awesome. I'm really, again, I'm looking forward to this film. I hope it does a bill worldwide. I really, really hope it does. And all of you people can help make that happen by showing up and seeing it in the theater. So please, please do. And buy whatever popcorn bucket they give us. Hopefully it's
I
not
hope
shitty
it's
one.
the tights. I hope it's the tights. I hope it's.
It won't be, but bless
I
your
hope
cotton
it
socks.
is. I hope it's the. Just go full. It's either that or the bowl cut. I hope one of the two.
Just full.
You know what I
underwear
could see?
shot.
Like, all jokes aside, I can see like them making a popcorn bucket out of like the logo where it's like 3-dimensional.
I can see it being crypto myself. That's kind of
Crypto
what I'm
could be
thinking,
good.
that it might be crypto.
I just want just something that's physical for the bulge,
Yeah.
and then give it to Dan.
You're gonna have to get the action figures for that,
Wow.
bud. Sorry, I'm
Low
sorry.
blow. Thank you for that.
No, we're looking out for you, Dan. We're supporting your.
That's
your bulge fetish. Yeah.
Right. Totally. That's yeah.
There's the shot right there. Now I'll zoom into this. That
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
bulge, but
I'm just like, I don't know. Do we need that? Like, because it's sort of like, what function does it serve other than to highlight the fact that Superman's got some padding there potentially?
yeah.
Yep. Thank you. And with that, I think we're ready for the quick hits. So let's find
Let's
that music.
hit that
shall we?
music, boys and girls.
The Bossa Nova elevator music. All right, let's do the
Who
quick
doesn't
hits.
love a good bossa nova?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 is now delayed by a year to 2027.
Bummer.
Paramount is also delaying the
my
release of The Legend of
God.
Aang, The Last Airbender, to later in 2026. So it looks like there's a couple of movies moving around. It's now slated for release in October 9th, or it was previously slated for release on October 9th, 2026. Now it's moved by almost a year to September 17th, 2027. The first movie collected $180 million, enough money for them to obviously greenlight a sequel. Are you guys surprised by this? Do you think this is a good move? You can't wait for the sequel? What are your thoughts?
I don't care. I never saw the first one. It looked kind of lame. I'm not going to see
The
this
first one was cute. The first one was cute. The kids loved it. I mean,
it's
I'm
better than the
disappointed
Michael Bay movies, but that's
well,
not saying much.
100%, please.
That's not saying much.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm disappointed that it's delayed, but if it's delayed for good reason, and if the film only ends up, being better because of it, sure thing. But I dig it, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, well, I personally liked it. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever, but I wouldn't mind.
Oh
seeing
yeah,
a second
absolutely.
One. I would not mind seeing a second one at all. John, you want to take over Quick Hits for a second? Talk about the Bruce Springsteen biopic for us, will you?
Yeah. So apparently your boy, Bear Boy, is going from bear to boss with the new Bruce Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Thoughts?
I mean, I enjoy him as an actor. I think Bruce Springsteen's a cool cat, so hopefully it's good. Hopefully they do it justice. I don't think Bruce would sign off on it if they didn't do a good job. I don't expect him to be singing. I don't think he's going to put forth the effort like Timothée Chalamet did. But these kinds of films are hit or miss for me, so I'm hoping it's a hit. I really hope that it is, because again, Bruce is a cool dude.
It's either you get like the best of the best, or like the most generics, like you get something like with Love and Mercy, or you get the most generic slop like I Want to Dance with Somebody, or Bob Marley One Love, or something like that. It's just because, which is a shame, because it's like, it sucks because it's like they're great artists, but then they have to be associated with this drivel, and the movie doesn't live up to their great artistry, which is sad.
And also, like, we already got a Bruce Springsteen film with that guy who told his story about how Bruce Springsteen like basically influenced him and changed his life. So I, I'm just hoping that it's good, or else you're wasting everybody's time. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Next thing.
I just wanted to point out that they say there, October 24th, you're also getting Mortal Kombat 2, Begonia, Regretting You. All three of those movies dropped the same weekend. And Jeremy Strong is in this one too, by the way, playing the legendary producer John Landau.
Freaking weekend.
I'll be seeing all of it.
I mean, Mortal Kombat 2 and this are probably going to make the most money, but so moving on. Next thing. It has been official. Your boy just loves torturing teenagers. Ray Fiennes can't get enough. He has now been cast as President Snow in Hunger Games Sunrise of... It's Sunrise on the Reaping, not Sunrise of the Reaping.
That's
by
correct.
the way. Just like they screwed that up. But like, here's the thing. Ray Fiennes will be, of course, amazing. Oscar-nominated film, his last film, Oscar-nominated actor. But they just won't give it to him because they're dumb. But great pick. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. However, if we wanted to get someone that looked like Donald Sutherland, who can be younger, why not just go with Kiefer Sutherland?
Maybe he didn't want any part of it. Maybe, you know, he and his father had a rough relationship. Maybe he just was like, that's not for me. Or they didn't ask him at all. Who knows? But I agree with you. I'm sure Kiefer would be fine with it. But, I mean, as far as the role is concerned. But, you know, Ralph's a good guy, so...
Yeah, I mean, Ray Fiennes is excellent. I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, Kiefer would have been nice to see.
Yeah, it would have made sense. I agree with you.
But yeah, this is a stacked cast. Like, I'm stoked for this. I was just watching the end of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes the other day.
Yeah, dude.
Still great. Although my sisters who both read the book have some problems with it in comparison to the book. Yeah. But I still think it was great. It's one of the best of the Hunger Games franchise. I would say it's probably the second best movie in my personal opinion, only behind Catching Fire. So I'm excited for that. But yeah.
Yep.
Moving on.
And I got the book, so I'll read it before this film, like I always do.
Are you guys excited about a Rambo origin movie called John Rambo? It hit the con market.
That's funny, because that's what Rambo was supposed to be called. Rambo 4. That's what that was. That was supposed to be originally called, was John Rambo, and then they changed the title. So it's just derivatives of his name at this point. The second movie, was
but he did
Rambo.
that with Rocky too. So okay.
I mean, the second one was called.
Is gonna be the John Rambo.
It's just like, it's Rambo First Blood Part 2, and then you just have Rambo, and then you have Rambo Last Blood, and then it's just. I mean, I like Rambo. It's just. The only movie that's worth a damn is the first one and maybe the fourth one. I haven't seen any of them outside the first. The second one is a fun movie. The third one I've heard is terrible. The fourth one I've heard gets the character the most right. And then Last Blood I've heard is kind of fun, where it's like Home Alone meets Rambo. This is like the only thing I can see them doing is like him in Vietnam. Like that's literally the only thing they can do, because it's like, what else is there to John Rambo other than what happened to him in Nam, which kind of takes away like what he went through in the first movie. It was kind of like a mystery. You get some flashbacks here and there.
It's like, I always regret,
but it's for the most part. What's the point?
Yeah, First Blood is art. Like Five Ash, I agree with you. First Blood is probably
First Blood is genuinely an amazing movie. It's like a lot of people that think it's like generic action like Rambo 2. But it's really not. It's more emotionally driven, and I will say to this day, the monologue at the end of the movie is still the best acting that Sly Stallone has ever done in his entire career.
1000% agreed. Honestly, that's what sells the movie. Without that monologue, the movie's not the same movie.
Yeah, you still like have like the idea of like PTSD. It's just like I'm torn on the ending because I'm like I think he should have died like in the book. But apparently, according to people, it's not just because the test screenings, people didn't like that he died, which is like kind of annoying. But I think Sly did an interview much later. He was like, we wanted to have it like the end of the book, but like this was like the PTSD from Nam was really at its height when this movie came out. And he's like, we didn't want to sell the message of kill yourself to Vietnam vets. So we changed it so that he just goes to jail, which I can see why. I can see like in the context of the time, it works. So, First Blood, I've heard it's a great book. I haven't read it. There's some differentiation, but yeah, I remember where Sly was like, yeah, it was a 3-hour movie and it sucked. And then I'm like, get rid of all my dialogue. And then it turned into a masterpiece. So go figure.
Well, we're gonna hope.
Anyway, sorry. I love First Blood. It's one of my favorite movies.
But I'm trying to keep it quick here.
I know.
I'm sorry. Daily. But no, absolutely, I agree with you. It's. I'm glad they're doing another movie. If it is a good one, obviously, are they gonna recast him at this point? If it's a prequel, I hope they do. But Jacob Elordi and Lily Rose Depp are set to star in Cormac McCarthy's adaptation of Outer Dark. This is another one that's being considered a hot project bubbling at the market this year. Are you guys familiar with the book Outer Dark?
I know Cormac McCarthy. I don't know. I mean, I think my dad has read some of his books, but I don't know this book, and I'm honestly kind of sick of seeing Jacob Elordi. Like I'm kind of sick of him. I mean, I'm gonna see Frankenstein because Guillermo del Toro and Oscar Isaac hell yeah. Mia Goth, hell yeah. So obviously I'll still see it, but he kind of has a punchable face. I just don't want to see it that much. Like, just like, I think like Wuthering Heights finally just was like, all right, I'm done with this dude. Like, I'm not gonna see that pile of filth. Like, that's rant mode, John. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah,
but I'm just sick of him. But I'm probably not gonna see this. I'll just rewatch No Country for Old Men, honestly.
All right. Well, Liz, any thing that you want to add to that?
Nope.
Cool. Moving on to the next thing. Mickey 17 has set a premiere date for his HBO Max streaming. So there you go. Big thumbs up from John. It's gonna make his global streaming debut on HBO Max on Friday, May the 23rd. So literally next weekend, the start of Memorial Day weekend. So you can kick things off by just staying at home and watching Mickey 17 again on HBO Max before you go to the movie theater and check out Tom Cruise with Mission Impossible and or Lilo and Stitch from Disney. So it's going to debut on HBO proper at 7:40 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, May the 24th. Liz, you saw the movie, I'm sure, when it came out. Are you excited to see it again at home?
No, I won't be seeing it again at home. As you know, I don't watch movies at home, but I'm happy for everybody else to see it because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people missed it. Obviously, it didn't make as much money as they wanted it to make. So
a lot of people
hopefully for all those folks, they can see it at home. I mean, John, are you going to be checking it out?
I mean, I'm probably not going to... It's not a rewatchable movie to me. I still really liked it, and I'm glad that I saw it. It's just not very rewatch. You know, it's a dark satire. It doesn't, like, hit every note. So, you know, it's still a great movie. I'd still recommend it. So if you didn't see it, like, give it some love. Hopefully it gets, like, good numbers on HBO Max now that it's called HBO Max again. So, yeah, great. Awesome. Way to go.
Yep. All right, awesome. Well, let's move on to the next story, shall we? The NFL is aiming to break records, it seemed like, because they're putting the Chiefs against the Cowboys as one of their Thanksgiving games. That alone could be record-breaking, but is it possible that Taylor Swift could perform the national anthem? Because that would really break records then.
No. She will not.
Can we not?
Leave the girl, let her live her life, gang. Let her live her life. She has more money than God. Let her just exist in the world. You know? No, she's not gonna do that.
Move on. I don't care. I don't care about football. I don't care about Taylor Swift. Move on.
Elite Easy is like the only anthem I want to hear from her is Blank Space. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I will say though, the trio of games are not that bad at all. I mean, Packers Lions, that's always fun. Chiefs Cowboys is gonna be amazing, I'm sure. Bengals Ravens, that's always gonna be fun. It's a division matchup, so that looks interesting.
Kyle. What's up, man?
Hello, Kyle in the chat. We've got so many of you guys in the chat today. Kyle just says yo back to you. So let's move on to the next story. We have got some news from Warner Brothers. And remember that lawsuit that they had? Well, actually, it was more Village Roadshow. And it was basically a put the company on the line kind of a lawsuit, because if they lost, they would have gone under. And that's what happened. We talked about this a while ago. And this was over the Matrix Resurrections movie, but also in general, like, the whole franchise, because Village Roadshow had financed a lot of those movies with Warner Brothers over the years. And as we know, this has already happened. Village Roadshow filed for bankruptcy a while ago, but now we know as part of the settlement, because the judge sent the court case to arbitration, and in that arbitration, Warner Brothers won, as it says it on the headline, $125 million. So not only did Village Roadshow go under, but they also had to pay up $125 million to Warner Brothers, which is probably part of the reason why they went under. Are you guys surprised by this? I mean, Warner Brothers seemingly getting wins on wins on wins here.
Yeah. Cool for them, I guess.
Yeah, good for them.
Nice. Well, poor Village Roadshow. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. As Key and Peele might say, racist ass Mel Gibson's The Resurrection of the Christ has found a studio partner in Lionsgate. This, of course, is the sequel to The Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson is directing it himself. It's it's meant to be the follow-up to what was one of the biggest independent movies of all time, because that movie had a budget of $30 million and made, what was it, $610 million. So
it was the biggest until Deadpool, I think.
It was also the highest rated, the highest grossing rated.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah, highest grossing,
America,
and then I think
until
Deadpool finally beat it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this movie's gonna start filming at a multitude of locations across the world. So I mean, I know Mel Gibson's on the whole President Trump's Hollywood panel, which is looking to put tariffs on movies that film abroad. Most of this film will be shooting abroad, but in general, do either of you guys care for the resurrection?
I mean, I just think it's funny. Like,
I mean, he gives me the ick as well, and rightfully so. But it made a ton of money. I know a lot of people that went, like, I think like school field trips went and saw this film in theaters. So it's gonna be another huge hit. Hopefully it does as well as the first one. Hopefully it is as good as the first one. You know, I know Mel Gibson, if he's not passionate about anything, he's passionate about the Christ. So, you know, good for him. Again, I wish he would stop leaving the house and saying words, but okay. You know, again, he's gonna make a crap ton of money, and all right. So, yeah.
I mean, he's a good director. Outside of Flight Risk, pretty much his entire catalog has been good. Which I still wanted to see it because, you know.
But again, the directing of Flight Risk wasn't bad. Just the weird CGI moment in the beginning of the film. It was the writing that was the problem. But he didn't write it. He just kind of greenlit all the blatant misogyny and homophobia and racism. But you know, hey, that's the direction he wants to take his studio because American values, apparently. For even though he's Australian. So.
Well, technically, he was born here, but his dad, I think, was.
We'll not get into it. His father's also a horrible.
Oh yeah, his father's also. So, but literally, he fled the country. Speaking of Vietnam, he fled the country so he didn't have to fight in the war, and he fled to Australia, and that's where he grew up. That's
why he's best friends with Trump now. But anyway, moving along.
Yeah, although I will say this, it is funny how in real life Jesus took 3 days to resurrect, but somehow this took 21 years.
Cool.
Well,
I was sitting on that joke, and I don't care what anybody says. That was funny.
Listen, when you cancel yourself, it takes a little while to come back. So here you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fair enough. Well, the next thing that we can talk about is a little bit better, I suppose, by comparison. Gears of War movie has landed David Leitch as a director. Leitch and Kelly McCormick will produce the Netflix video game adaptation via their 87 North banner, along with gaming company The Coalition. Are you guys excited about the Gears of War movie? We know it's been in development for a while. Now we have a director. David Leitch is doing it. He directed The Fall Guy last year. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it's going to go to Netflix, which means I'll probably never see it. If it came to a theater, I would watch it because, you know, I was with someone for 10 years, so I got to watch this game being played week after week after week. So, yeah, I would be interested in seeing the film, but again, don't watch movies from home, so oh well.
Well, I think I know a couple of my friends are fans of Gears of War, so I'm curious to know their thoughts. I hope it's in theaters because I feel like something like Gears of War should be like in a theater, you know? So I hope that's the case, and it's just produced by Netflix because they have released movies in theaters before. So
well, we do have one more quick hit before we finish up because we are heading into the weekend, and this weekend I believe is I got a little note passed to me while we've been doing the show because this weekend happens to be somebody's birthday, it seems like. So a very happy birthday to you, or very early happy birthday to you, Liz.
Cute. Thanks, gang. Yep.
Let's
40 to 41.
Let's not support AI art, Dan. Come on.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Fiona. That was really kind of her to mention that to you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
well, the AI art is.
And remember, guys, in the comments, we never ask a lady her age, so shut up.
I wrote it right there. I'm going to be 41 tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I share my birthday with the late, great Bob Saget. And for the longest time, I thought it was like so lame. But now I kind of have embraced it. And I used to wish him happy birthday every year on Twitter. So here we are. Yeah. Tomorrow, May 17th, the greatest day of the year.
Absolutely. Well, happy birthday.
Thanks, everybody. Thank
you have
you.
a great weekend. That's
I'm looking
we
forward to it.
usually
I
do
think I'm gonna
celebrity
I think I'm
birthdays.
gonna see baby goats tomorrow. Actually, I think that's the
Oh,
plan. So
okay.
that's gonna be great.
Meanwhile, I never reveal my government birthday because I don't like. I don't
Well,
like people.
everyone knows you're a day walker, John. So who knows?
Definitely is.
You know.
Yeah, I can tell you that as a fact. But just some geeky guys a bit surprised.
Hey, because I act like I'm 5, so
It balances out.
also I have no children, so no one to suck the lifeblood out of me, which is
Or
really
suck
nice.
something else, but that's beside the point.
John, for goodness sake.
Really, man? Why do you gotta go there? I was gonna
Because
be
he's
like,
trying
hey,
not
we
to
should do
curse, so he has
celebrity
to pivot to something else.
And Liz is the celebrity that we're wishing, even though it's an early. We usually missed birthdays. The other day we were doing the Superman trailer reaction, and I forgot it was George Lucas's
Okay,
birthday.
I can't deal with this.
But
this kid like saying
yeah,
happy birthday.
It's
like
kind of creepy. It's definitely giving creep.
It's like reminding me of like the Weapons trailer. Like Jesus
But
Christ.
I'll give you the rundown really quick. So I share my birthday with Trent Reznor, Enya, Craig Ferguson, Dennis Hopper. Apparently, these I didn't even know this myself. These people, Bob Saget, I knew. Bill Paxton, the late great Bill Paxton.
Hell yeah.
Derek Huff, who I love. Oh, Kim Mulkey, if anybody knows her from college football, from college basketball. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the ones. Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard. Oh, Sugar Ray. Oh, Lena Waithe, love her. I'm just going through this list here. So yeah, hop on socials and wish all these celebs. Oh, Keon Coleman, love him from the NFL. Hop on socials tomorrow, gang, and wish all these wonderful people a very happy birthday. I think I'm gonna have to shout out Trent Reznor for sure, cause hot. So yeah.
Big
Thanks,
9 Inch
everybody. It
Nails
was very,
fan?
again, very, very kind. What?
Are you a big 9 Inch Nails fan?
I'm a huge 9 Inch Nails fan, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
my buddy mine is
romantic.
Loves 9 Inch Nails. He's like,
yeah.
He was like, I almost want to see Tron Ares just because they're doing the score, but he's like, nah, never mind. He's like, I'll just listen to the soundtrack. It's fine.
No, I think Closer is one of the most romantic songs ever recorded. So yeah, huge fan.
Nice.
Anyway,
well, we hope that you have an amazing birthday, Liz.
Thanks, you
so
guys,
much
and thanks again to Fiona. That was very sweet of her to
bring to the show. Yeah,
put that out there.
I'll pass on.
Very
the
kind,
compliment.
very kind.
But that's the conclusion of the news segment on the show. We're not done yet, though.
We're not done.
New to the show. We're only just getting started. But while you're here, and if you haven't already, hit the like button, because we are going to move into some more exciting parts of the show. Because coming up next, we're going to get into some movies of the week. We have not one but two this week: Shadow Force and then Fight or Flight. Then we got some Marvel news, some MCU news, potentially a spoiler for the X-Men movies, as well as maybe what's going on with Doomsday, maybe what Robert Downey Jr., what run of the Doom and Dr. Doom in the comics that he's excited about. We also have to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day, which comes out in between two multiversal movies. And now there's a rumor talking about the villain for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which might hint at the multiverse as well. So maybe it's not, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after all. Maybe it's your friendly multiversal Spider-Man. So we have that. And then, of course, we have a lot of stuff from DC still. We've got some more Sergeant Rock news. Where I'm sure going to be talking about more Superman and the Batman 2. The script is coming soon. Well, we will get into that. We have 2 super chats from Just Some Geeky Guy to talk about in that segment as well. Yes, we will talk about those when we get to the Batman 2. And of course, in addition to that, we will be talking about your questions and comments and fan theories, because we have the Q&A session coming up. So all of that and so much more. We're looking ahead to Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. For now, though, I'm going to leave you guys in the very capable hands of the birthday girl, or early birthday girl, Liz, and John, who's going to take it away. So I have to run, but it's been an amazing week. So I'll see you guys back on Monday, and enjoy the rest of the show. We got DCU Daily, MCU Weekly, as well as a ton of movie reviews coming your way. So John, Liz, take it away.
Thanks,
Go
Dan.
Knicks. Suck it, Dan. Anyway.
Really?
So
I'm still here. Come on.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. That's why I said it. Bye. Anyway. So now we are moving on to movie of the week. Now, I didn't catch either of these, although I wanted to catch the latter so badly because I actually like Trap, and I like Josh Hartnett, and I like John Wick style action. So that would have been perfect, but I just didn't have time. But before we get into that, we are going to get into Shadow Force first. And why don't you take us away, I will just let you do your thing and have fun.
Yeah, so Shadow Force, I'm sure you guys have seen the trailer. We had talked about it before on the show. When I first saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, this is a straight to Netflix kind of film. And it had that vibe, but I'm glad that I saw it in the theaters. And, Kerry Washington, Omar Sy, they're really good together. Mark Strong, good bad guy. I want to say it was kind of a heisty movie, but it was really more of your standard shoot 'em up. They're former spies that were a part of this group, this elite group, got out, fell in love, had a kid, have kind of been on the run ever since. But unfortunately, Mark Strong's character just wanted to get them back into the fold, had a little revenge on his mind, and they couldn't hide any longer, had to come back and defend themselves and just kind of end things once and for all. Also, Divine Joy and Method Man play a spy, but also a couple in this film together as well. Divine, I just love. She can do no wrong in my eyes. So I enjoyed it. It had little cheesy moments. The plot was fairly thin in my opinion. But it was a good time. Omar's a really good actor. The action was pretty good. So, if you guys want to check it out, I'm sure it'll be streaming any minute now. Because again, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, so this is just a Netflix movie? I was shocked that it was coming to theaters. But it was a good time. So we... Fight or Flight? Nope. I think John might have gone off for a minute. But again, it was a good shoot 'em up film. I'm hoping to see more from Omar. I think it's Sy is the way you pronounce his last name.
It is.
Yeah. So he was really good. So I hope to see more with him. He's slowly been kind of creeping into things. So hopefully this was his kind of way to get his foot in the door more. And the boy that played their son, oh my God, cutest freaking kid in the entire world. So again, if you like a shoot 'em up, kind of a film that you can turn your brain off, there's really, it's nothing like Mission Impossible where you have to like think about what they're talking about and all the elaborate things they're doing. It's literally just, we're trying to get out of this Shadow Force group and just live our lives. There is also a really sweet souped up car in it. So if you like all those kinds of things, it pretty much ticks all the boxes as far as action movies are concerned. So give it a shot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here is the, the amazing.
Aww. Shame. Again, I mean, it's nothing monumental. They didn't set it up for a sequel or anything like that. So, I mean, maybe you'll see something later on with Divine because her character does kind of move on. But it looked, the popcorn meter was good. So hey.
Sure. So this is in theaters. If you had to give it a rating,
it'll probably be in theaters for like another week or so. I don't expect it to be sticking around for very long.
I know.
I don't think it made a ton of money.
Rating wise,
as far as an action film was concerned, again, I'm not going by writing. I'm not going by substance of story itself. I'm going simply by just action entertainment. I would give it a solid 7.
Yeah, Shadow Force earned apparently a B cinema score.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like a fun, run-of-the-mill kind of movie. But, Kerry Washington and Omar Sy bring heat, charisma, and chemistry to Shadow Force, a gamely, entertaining action thriller. Joe Carnahan, who has directed a lot of great stuff in the past, directed this one. He directed The Grey with Liam Neeson. He almost directed a Daredevil trilogy before the rights went back to Marvel. Fun. But yeah, that's it for Shadow Force. But now we move on to Fight or Flight.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Fight or Flight?
So again, it was another one that was really entertaining. The marketing team did a hell of a job making it look like you said, John, like Bullet Train in the air. It definitely wasn't that. Again, the plot, in my opinion, was pretty weak sauce. So the entire thing was Josh Hartnett's character used to work in the Secret Service. He made a mistake, well, sort of a mistake. It was a judgment of morals on his part, but he made a mistake when escorting a high-profile client or whatever you want to say, and so he was kind of blacklisted. And he has been in Bangkok for the past 2 years trying to get his life back, and just basically drinking himself into a stupor every day. But then is it Katie Seagal? No, Katie Sackhoff, excuse me. So then Katie Sackhoff's character comes into the mix. Her company is looking for this ghost. It's literally, their name is Ghost, because they've never seen, thank you, Katie Sackhoff, because they've never seen this person. They don't know who this person's identity is. They're kind of like a cyber criminal. They're wanted for, you know, helping other groups and organizations, and they've had a bounty on their head for quite some time. Get some intel that this ghost was going to be in Bangkok, was going to be getting on a flight in Bangkok. And so they called up Josh and they said, hey, we'll get you back in the fold. We'll take your name off the, you know, the no-fly zone list. And, you know, you just have to find this criminal that we, again, have no identity for, don't know what they look like, anything like that, on this plane, and just bring them in. So unfortunately, everybody knew that apparently this criminal was on this flight somehow, and at some point, you know, the plane gets full of other assassins, and then they get Josh Hartnett's picture. Somebody's trying to put a bounty on him, so he's just on this jumbo jet, just beating the crap out of everybody, getting the crap beat out of himself. He does find the Ghost character, and they, you know, team up, and so it was okay. Again, I felt like the plot itself was kind of weak sauce in general, but Josh was really entertaining. The action was pretty darn good for they do, but they did the best that they could with what they had. So, you know, again, for an action film itself, it was pretty quality. The writing kind of weak, but again, you know, it was entertaining, to be sure. And I mean, look at those scores. So it's not the worst thing you're going to see in theaters, that's for sure. It was a good time. The soundtrack was all right. Josh was pretty funny. Definitely different from his character in Trapped. So, you know, again, if you like just purely for action, for that entertainment, it's a good one to check out for sure. I would give that a solid 8. Yeah, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But that is pretty much it. Let's get rid of this shitty music. Get out of here.
Wasn't the worst.
But thanks for watching this part of the show. Movie of the week. Sorry, I couldn't really give anybody else like some meat, but Liz gave us, you know, 2 positive action movies, so that's fun if you're looking to turn your brain off at the theater.
And that's
then
just it. Yeah,
by all means, have some fun at the theater. But we are going to be moving on to Liz's most likely favorite part of the show, if I'm willing to guess. We're getting into the MCU news part of the show. And the first thing we're going to be talking about today is possibly something spoilerific. So sorry, Liz. But we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four. And apparently, better. We're going to be talking about Fantastic Four and how apparently Funko unveiled a Pop figurine that might be a spoiler. And that spoiler might reveal little Franklin Richards from, like, you know, as in the child is born. So
yeah.
Thoughts on that?
It's weird that both the Superman action figures and now this Funko Pop, it's weird that they both feature a baby that has never really been brought up prior or talked about.
Well, I mean, it's been brought up here. She said, they said she's pregnant.
We know she's pregnant. So, but it's, I don't know. I thought that was kind of a strange move to have a baby with her, but okay. So whatever. They look really good. I do love a Funko Pop. I do collect them. I don't know that I'll collect any of these, but they do look pretty. I mean, I like the fuck, I can't. Apologies for the language. I can't remember his name again. The Rock guy. What is his name? Oh my
The
god.
Thing?
The Thing. Thank you. Why?
How do you
Why?
forget a name like The
Because
Thing?
he's a rock. Like he's not the Thing. He's a rock. Like I don't know. Anyway, I like him in his little incognito outfit, even though the
I
dude's
love
like
how
9
he
feet tall.
got a
Yeah.
second figurine, but
Yeah.
Galactus didn't get a figurine at all.
I mean, I'm sure it's coming. Well, there'll probably be a second wave of pops after the film comes out. You never know.
Also, I'm
But they
curious.
look good.
Do you think we're ever gonna get a clean shaven Pedro Pascal at this point? Because I feel like that man is never gonna
Right?
shave his mustache and never gonna shave his like
Well, I was trying to think, was he
depression
clean
beard or
shaven?
whatever the
I
hell
don't
he
think.
has.
Yeah, was he clean shaven in Game of Thrones, or did he have the
No,
stash in
he had the
Game of
mustache
Thrones?
there at the very
Yeah.
least.
So no, I don't think we ever will, and that's okay. That's all right. You know, good for him. I still highly recommend Freaky Tales. You guys check that film out. The cameo in that was pretty phenomenal. So, you know, that's a good one to, again, if you want to just kind of be like, what? It was a pretty wild film. But yeah, no, I good for the Funko Pop. I mean, we knew it was coming. I'm surprised the little robot dealie. I can't remember
Herbie.
any names. You guys, I worked overnight last night, so my
Herbie.
brain.
Herbie.
Herbie. I'm surprised that didn't. I totally probably would have bought a Funko of that dude. So, you know, like I said, there's probably going to be more coming, but cute. They look good. Good for them. Funko Pops.
So
More crap for people to sign
yeah,
at Comic-Con.
yeah,
And by the way, they jack up the price for the Funkos, so don't even bother.
right.
Just saying.
Of course. But apparently we're getting into like the major stuff with Doomsday. This does fall in line with a rumor from Avengers Doomsday casting that they were casting actors between 10 to 13 to play a character, and they
Sure.
assumed it was Franklin because he was have a major role in the film, considering that Franklin Richards is like an Omega level mutant in the comics. It makes sense. Like he is like reality warping mutant. And he uses his abilities to grow into adulthood, kind of like what happened to the twins in WandaVision a little bit, but like even more so. But yeah, so it's entirely plausible that they'll maybe go that route, that in an attempt to maybe just stop Doctor Doom, that he'll grow himself up and then try to stop Doctor Doom, stop him, and then he'll go back to being a kid again. Kind of like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask a little bit. So it's definitely intriguing. Apparently they're bringing in possibly some Earth X vibes from that arc, and you know, it's none of this is like confirmed. It's all just rumor. So, but this at least confirms that we're getting baby Franklin Richards in the movie whenever that does happen. Maybe it's like at the midpoint or towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, my theory in this case, now that it is confirmed that at least from this, that Franklin Richards is going to be born, and I'm going to take a wild guess, he's the reason why they flee Earth. Because like
That would make sense, yeah.
convinces them, she's like, I'm not having my child die. And she's like, I would sacrifice myself. I would sacrifice us. I'm not sacrificing my baby.
Yeah.
I could definitely see them pushing that. And that's what, because it's like, I mean, it's confirmed at this point. They left that Earth because they were in that post-credit scene in the Thunderbolts. So,
If you are to believe it's this group of a Fantastic Four members.
I mean,
yes.
it's pretty much been confirmed since the Russo brothers directed that post-credit scene, leaving to the implication that it's maybe even from Doomsday, and they just put it here because it includes the new Avengers. So
interesting next couple of years, gang. That's all I can say.
most definitely. So curious to know your guys' thoughts. Does this excite you that we are going to get Franklin Richards pretty much as soon as we are? Or is it like, no, they're bringing him in too early, it's too much, this is ridiculous? Or do you think the Funko Pop is just like sort of, you know, there for their sake? I don't know, but I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts. Obviously, we're going to move on a little bit, apparently, but bringing in more rumor mill stuff. Well, even more rumor than this is going to the other side of, well, non-MCU people that became MCU people. Apparently, Sadie Sink's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day is that she is going to be playing Mayday Parker, and she is going to be the child of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, which probably means, I mean, I predicted this, that it would be one of the assumptions, since she's, a redhead like Mary Jane, and, her character doesn't really, and that her look doesn't really follow with like Black Cat or Kitty Pryde or anybody. The only one that fits is Jean Grey. I don't think they're going to introduce Jean Grey in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
But this is, John Rocha. It's not Jeff Snyder, but it's still a scooper. So who knows? But apparently that they are going to be. It's not just a random Peter Parker. It is like Tobey Maguire's.
Right,
Like,
specifically,
child.
yeah.
And we might be getting this. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Again, rumor mill. Let's say it's true. What would be your thoughts on this? Do you think this is a decent move, or do you think like, no, let's not bring in like multiverse stuff, because that's what Marvel was trying to avoid? Meanwhile, Sony was pushing the multiversal angle. So Liz, I'm curious to know your thoughts, because I think it's an intriguing move. I don't know if it's the right one, but
I mean, I don't mind it. I think, they did so well bringing in Toby and Andrew. Was it Andrew? Yes. For this, and we're going the route of the multiverse. Why not just keep it going? It doesn't matter to me either way. I like Sadie Sink as an actress, so
yeah, same here.
I welcome her wholeheartedly into the MCU. So I mean, again, it's all rumor, it's all speculation. We're not going to know for sure until it happens and how it all fits in together. But I like her. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it either. It's just, there's the idea of like multiversal stuff and, all that. So it's a little awkward, I guess. A little awkward, like, because that's what allegedly Marvel was trying to avoid, and it seems like they are bringing it in. So that's like kind of a weird choice, a little bit. But I wouldn't mind it, because I think Mayday Parker is definitely at least kind of a popular character. Until Mephisto was like, "Oh, like she's gonna defeat me in the future. You guys can't get married," and then that's one more day. And
I like the
we
name.
Don't talk about that. Yeah. I mean, May Parker, named after Aunt May, of course.
Yeah.
So, bringing that into the fold, and I don't know. I think Sadie Sink could do it well. It's just like I'm a little hesitant to believe, this, because multiversal stuff is like the number one factor, is the thing I'm thinking of. So whatever it is, I'm curious your guys' thoughts in regards to this. Let me introspectively look into the thingamajig. Yes, thank Elite Easy. He's too big. I like the way the thing looks. That makes one of us.
I like the way the thing looks.
Two of us, I guess. But Galactus wants the baby. Maybe that could be a plot point, that Galactus feels like the power radiating from Franklin Richards, that he wants that power for himself. So, enterprising, if the villain is Morlun hunting spider totems, that makes some sense. Yeah, that could entirely be the case, although that is more attributed to Silk than Mayday Parker. But I mean, you guys know comics even way more than I do, so yeah. So I mean, yeah, that is true. Be positive. But yeah, I think I think it's could be a good choice, but we're spending too much time on this. Let's move the heck on. Apparently the next one, by the way to go, Knicks.
Hey, Knickerbockers.
Suck
all
it, man.
over.
Fuck the Celtics. Anyway, I'll throw in an F word in there. But apparently, Robert Downey Jr. shared his inspiration for his Doctor Doom, and it couldn't be better. In a post shared on social media, Robert Downey Jr. showed off his Doom workstation essentials, along with a canned coffee and some wellness supplements. The thing that stands out most is a copy of Doom, written by Jonathan Hickman, with art by Stanford Green. Liz, I know you're not a big knowledgeable in regards to comics, but does this excite you, or is this just kind of expected? Like, yeah, I would hope he does his homework with this role. So,
Well,
thoughts?
listen, as annoyed as people are, some people are by him playing this role, and again, the fact that they're basically putting everything on his shoulders, which I don't think is fair. He does do the work. He is an integral part of the MCU because he cares, because he's passionate. He's not going to just show up and hope for the best. He's like,
Right.
he's going to do his research. So no, I think it's not surprising to hear this, and I'm glad that he is continuing to give a darn. So good for him. But again, I just wish they would stop like resting the entire future of the MCU on him. But
Right.
it is what it is, man.
But no, I mean, I agree with that. I do, because I like I mean, it's like expected at this point. Like, I hope they have like comic book. I mean, the Russo brothers said like months ago that, oh yeah, he's going in on this. He's going super in on this. So I'm like, yeah, I hope. I mean, even you said this. Like, I hope. I hope he does. So, yeah, I think that's expected. But I have not, now speaking for me, I have not read Doom by Jonathan Hickman. I don't know of it that much, but I mean, I assume here it's like a classic story and absolutely phenomenal and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm glad he's doing his homework. I'm
Yeah.
very glad he's doing his homework. It's, and as you said, like, he's gonna do I mean, he's passionate about the role. He's passionate, not like, I feel like he's just passionate about anything. I mean, people forget Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. He has an Oscar now. So,
Right.
I mean, we kind of forget that, like, oh yeah, he's another MCU guy. Well, he's an Oscar winner now, so he's gonna go ham on it. Like that, I wouldn't say he stole the show in Oppenheimer, but he did do, like, he was one of the best parts of the movie.
People were, yeah, they well, just out of curiosity, just to kind of see who his character was, what he was going to be doing. He definitely brings butts and seats no matter what he's attached himself to.
Right. But yeah, way to go, way to go, Mr. Downey Jr. People, I don't know what the hell people are talking about. Apparently, Be Positive is saying Sarah Snook is rumored to play the female villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Sarah Snook played the older Sadie Sink in Glass Castle with Brie Larson. Okay, interesting. I don't know if that'll be the case, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But moving on, apparently Joe Russo calls Avengers Doomsday the most epic two-part story of the last decade.
All right,
Even
calm
more
down,
than your own
son,
movie?
calm
Okay.
down. Yeah.
He said it's going to be the most epic two-part story in the last decade with many characters and intertwining stories. Do you think Avengers, and this is a question for you, I know it's part of the story, but do you think Avengers Doomsday is going to top Infinity War and Endgame?
Well, the problem is that that's what everybody's going to compare it to, right? And rightfully so. They were unlike anything we had seen before, and so sadly that they've kind of set the benchmark. But I hate statements like this. I really hate statements like this. Like, son, we haven't even seen a trailer yet. Like calm down. Just calm down. It makes me really nervous when I see stuff like that. I'm like, do not oversell it. Do not do that. But, good for him if he's pumped and he's hyped. But I'm thinking to myself, like, you're not even wrapped yet. Like, calm yourself. As we know, a lot of films get destroyed in the editing suite. So I'm not going to feel any kind of way until I see a trailer. And then even then, it still might not do the film justice, or vice versa. So I'm not feeling one way or the other about it. I just think statements like that are a little dangerous.
It's just don't oversell it, because then if it is a disappointment, you're going to look like a fool. And considering every movie post Endgame from the Russo brothers has been not very good, it's like, well, what is it? Are they only good at Marvel, or are they just can't make anything good since Endgame? So it's like, what's the deal here? And obviously, we'll see next year. We'll see next year what the actual case is. I mean, I hope it's good for the people that want to see it. I still have no interest
Well,
whatsoever.
again, listen, it's great to hype it up. It's good for the marketing, as we've criticized James Gunn for doing the same. But they're clearly, taking a page from his book and they're trying to hype this up as much as they can. But again, let me see a trailer. I'm not gonna take any of that in stock until I see a trailer. So
right. But moving on to the next thing, we have apparently Spider-Man will appear in Doomsday only if Marvel Studios finalizes a return deal with Tom Holland. Now, this is rumor mill. This has come from Daniel RPK, who is a little bit better than He Who Shall Not Be Named, but he's still not great. He is still a scooper, and James Gunn warned us against scoopers, even though it is Marvel and not DC's. Rules still apply. Yeah. But they want him to appear in Doomsday, but it feels like I think he only has a contract for 3 movies now, unlike his 5-movie deal where he appeared in Infinity War, Endgame, and then his 3 Spider-Man movies. Now I believe it's only 3 movies now, and it's just for the second Spider-Man trilogy. And I think he would probably be done with it after that. I would take a wild guess that they're probably going to introduce Miles after that, because I think he wants to, go off, do his own more original movies.
So. And he's only going to get older, so
yeah, and he can only look like a 19-year-old forever. So, but would you want? If there is a proper role for him, would you want Spider-Man to appear, or would you want to wait for Secret Wars and maybe the temptation of tension?
I would be fine with it, especially if they say people, the rumor is that Iron Man is a variant of Doctor Doom. So I think that would be really interesting, because as we know, Peter Parker has that emotional connection with Tony Stark. So for him to essentially, see somebody back from the grave, that would be really impactful. It'd be a really powerful moment in the film. But we'll see. It's all rumor. It's all speculation. I can't, but I love Tom Holland. I know a lot of people, he's not their favorite Spider-Man, but whatever. I love the kid. I'm happy for him to make a bag either way. So cut the boy a check, let him say hi and dip out, and good for him.
Yeah. But going on from another bought out part of the Marvel universe making its way into the MCU. Apparently, the next rumor we have is Marvel Studios is building the team for the X-Men or X-Men film around Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Professor Xavier. Now, this is coming from He Who Shall Not Be Named, and it makes sense to me. Even though I hate Jeff Snyder with every fiber of my being, but it makes sense considering that they were part of the original X-Men team, that they are popular characters and people want to see them. So I think that makes sense.
No, but James Gunn is right, though. We're so sick and tired of origin stories. We get it. We know that Jean and Cyclops have this romance, and it's, oh my God, and she's Dark Phoenix, and freaking, she's the most powerful. I'm so over it. I'm so over Jean Grey and Cyclops. Go away. Give
honestly,
us. There's so many other friggin' characters. Give us the
honestly. I can see that, but at the same time, I'm the same way with Wolverine. Wolverine needs to fucking die at this point. I'm so sick of Wolverine.
But to be fair, I'm sick of Wolverine too. 100%.
I love Hugh Jackman. 100%. It was cool that they finally teamed up with Deadpool and Wolverine. Awesome. Yeah. I understand the till he's 90 thing. I think that's a funny joke, ha ha ha. But I'm just if they're doing an X-Men trilogy, none of those movies should have Wolverine. I'm just gonna say that right now. I understand he's the most popular. I understand all that, but
can't be Jean Grey and Cyclops without a Wolverine. It's just
get Angel in there, bro. Has not been done right in the movies at all. No. Get Angel in there.
And again, as much as I'm not happy about Channing being Gambit, at least Gambit's finally getting some attention. I still have not got my Gambit and Rose movie and Rogue movie. I still have not got their origin stories. Shit, I'll take a Jubilee origin story at this point. That's how sick to death I am of freaking Jean Grey and Cyclops. And to be fair, James ruined Cyclops for me. I'll start with that. But Cyclops has always been a dick. So I don't
No, he's a piece of
care
shit.
for the man to get a film. I don't care for it. Not at all. I'm happy with, X-Men 97. Like I'll continue to watch those cartoons and everything, but like there are other characters. Give your time to them. Enough is enough with this. I'm over it. I'll see it. Of course I'll see it. You people, come on. I'll see it. It better be good, but I'm over it.
Yeah. So people are saying, well, just some geeky guys saying they should do the first class lineup. Although Be
Yeah.
Positive asked, Liz, did you like the Marvels, as in the Brie Larson and
Yeah.
Iman Vellani?
I loved the pacing wasn't great for me, but I loved the Marvels aside from the whole cats on the spaceship thing. The flirt, what were they? Anyway.
Florgan,
Yeah, the
Bloggen, blah, blah,
Florgan,
blah, blah,
Flaggen,
blah.
Flurgern. No, I love the Marvels. I love the three of them together. I'd like to see more of that. We probably won't get it because it didn't do so well in the box office, because heaven forbid women be, on the forefront of a film. Oh my God, terrible. But
Or just make a fucking good movie.
it wasn't the worst, is my point. So anyway, yeah, no, I liked it. But will they readapt the Phoenix Saga? Probably, because they still haven't done a good job of it. But I'm over it.
Although just some geeky guy saying this about James Marsden, but it's
No,
like James
he
Marsden's a
wanted
piece
to
of
be
shit.
written out of it. He asked to be written out of it the first time around, and then when he wasn't getting any money from anybody, he said, "Oh, I'll come back." Yeah, bye.
I mean, he's in the
Bye.
Sonic movies. He's getting money from that.
Yes, that is
So,
true. But also, bye, James.
but they're saying, Five Ash saying Cyclops is the leader. Cyclops and Professor X should be center. Start with the original 60s, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. No, Be Positive, The Rock should not be fucking Apocalypse. Get a good fucking actor in that role.
Oh, ew, how dare you?
Gross.
Missed you with that.
But yeah, although just some geeky guy asking, Liz, do you think, oh no, he already asked that. Hot take, Dark Phoenix wasn't bad at all. Five Ash saying this chick is angry. Haha. Yeah, we get angry from time to time, Five Ash. That's how it be. Although Be Positive is asking you, what is the worst MCU movie? Thor: Love and Thunder, Dark World. What is your worst MCU movie?
Is Madam Web's not a part of that, right? See, that's the
No.
problem, is I don't know what
MCU
what's in and what's not.
only MCU specifically.
Yeah, but again, that I don't know what those are, John. You're the one that knows those. I don't know what.
I mean,
to me,
all
they're
the
all
MCU,
films.
like just anything not made by anything non-Spider-Man that doesn't feature Tom Holland.
So, I mean, Morbius.
That was Sony. So
see, again, I don't know what's Sony and what's not Sony.
So here's the thing. All three Venom movies, Madam Web, Morbin Time, and Craven, those were all
Craven
Sony.
was too. See, I didn't know.
Oh, those were all Sony.
Yeah, see, I don't know things. I mean, I have, and to be fair, I have not seen everything. I've seen probably 95%. The first X-Men movie was excellent. All of the other ones after that, miss me. Not a fan. Not a fan. The writing was shit.
Oh, that was all Fox.
Yeah, but my point is, they're asking me a question, I'm answering it. I really didn't have a problem with Thor: Love and Thunder either, you guys. Like, I didn't hate it. It wasn't the best, but no.
Because usually the worst are like considered like Iron Man 2, Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, The Dark World wasn't the greatest. Iron Man 2, but I mean, but you also have to think of like for the time period.
Right.
Like for the time period, Iron Man 2 made sense because we weren't making good films at the time. You know what I mean? And we were just running to the box office for any schlop that they put out there.
Yeah.
No, for me, pretty much any of the X-Men films after the first one was just a waste of my time and extremely disappointing, to be frank, because that's what started my quite literally everything in my life was X-Men first for me, the Uncanny X-Men. That was my entire world. And so when I heard they were making a film, I was so excited. And then, the first reveal, they showed up. I mean, I wish we had a YouTube show back then when I was freaking 16. And when they showed like the black jumpsuits, I was like, the fridge? Like, no. So yeah.
What did you expect? Yellow spandex?
That was the best line in the whole film. But again, and I'm not going to say that first movie was anything to write home about either, but I was just I was just so happy that they finally got their due.
Right.
So unfortunately, nothing has met my expectations as far as X-Men are concerned since then. So
which
oh
is
well.
interesting. But
Oh well.
there is another rumor. Rumor mill time. Coleman Domingo is apparently going to be eyed for Professor X, which
Yes.
is Rocky, and then Daisy Edgar
Yep.
Jones for Jean Grey.
I mean, I love her. I don't
Thoughts?
think again, if we're talking origin story, I guess her age makes sense for it. I have no problem with an African American playing who we've normally seen as a white male character. I know the internets are going to lose their absolute minds. How dare they? But Coleman is one hell of an actor. He's
He
already
is. That's why I don't
participated
want
in.
him to like be designated to just Professor X. I feel like he can.
Well, but
Like,
he's been in the Amazing Spider-Man TV show. Like he's already been a part of some Marvel things.
no, I know.
So, you know, I don't have a problem with it. Still, the ultimate casting for me was Sir Jean-Luc Picard, was Sir Patrick Stewart. That's all I've ever wanted as a child since I was 12 years old, and I got it. So I'm good. I'm good with anything
Yeah,
else
we're
at
good.
this point. I got what
Honestly,
I
I would
wanted
love to
there.
see. I know he's been in like so many comic book movies at this point. I'd love to see Mark Strong as Professor X. I think he would be
They
really
gotta
good.
fix his teeth, though. They gotta fix his teeth. How are you
I
gonna play
know.
a millionaire and
Bad
have
teeth,
have that?
apparently.
You guys, that was the one thing I didn't mention in Shadow Force. Mark Strong, it's every time I see the man, I'm like, oh
But
right, your mouth is jacked, and it's the most distracting thing, and it takes away from his acting, quite frankly, because you have this one freaking tooth just in your face the whole time. Like, bro, Invisalign, it's not that expensive. But
anyway, this is
I
coming
just
from Jeff
can't.
Snyder, so it's probably bullshit. I mean, he's saying Denzel Washington is being eyed for Magneto, which is just no friggin' way is that happening, considering he's like, I'm half retired at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
So, he thinks Harris Dickinson is no longer playing Cyclops, so who knows? I don't know.
I mean,
It's Jeff
just
Snyder.
some
Who
geeky guy
cares?
threw out Adrian Brody as Magneto. I don't hate that, especially because Adrian Brody's annoying.
This man has played enough Holocaust survivors. Can we just like not?
That's fair. You know what? That's a very good point, John.
Like,
If there's anything somebody should not be typecast for, that is very fair.
He's won 2 Academy Awards for Holocaust survivors. Let's not have him play a third one.
That's very fair. You know what?
Yeah, let's move on from that. And let's move on from this because people are getting mad. So, but I guess that's what people come for anyway. So apparently, Skydance New Media is delaying the game, going from movies to the games. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra until early 2026. Honestly, I mean, I joke all the time about like movies and games being delayed. I really don't mind. Like, here's the thing. I would prefer a game be delayed and have it be good and look good than them shitting it out. And then it's like Cyberpunk 2077, where it looks like garbage and it plays like garbage, and it takes like 2 years for the game to actually be playable. So I'd rather have it delayed. I'd rather wait. I mean, am I going to play this? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? If it's good, I'll play it, because I mean, the last few Marvel games have not been good. Like, Avengers was bad. I've heard Guardians was like okay, maybe at best. The only like Spider-Man 2 was not very good. So let's hope that Wolverine is good, but with how Insomniac is going, unlikely. But yeah, I don't know if this will be a good game because of the delay, then cool, all for it. It sounds like a really cool idea, but I'm not holding my breath with how bad the Marvel track record is in regards to Marvel games. But even though, Liz, you're not really a gamer, what are your thoughts about this? Just quick thoughts.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about any game.
Moving on.
Anything.
Anyway, let's see. All right. So apparently, Avengers Doomsday set photos and video appear to reveal a downed Sentinel. Yes, you saw that correctly. A downed Sentinel.
Yep.
It's obviously we can't really see it. Let's open up this, but you can like kind of sort of see.
You see the foot and you see the shoulders, and like the head's been off. So you don't see the head, but you see it. It's very clearly a down Sentinel. Yeah, 100%.
So I'm willing to believe that this is most likely going to be like now what was originally reported as as like a battle between the Avengers and the X-Men at the X-Mansion. Now I'm believing that, it might be like a cold open to introduce the X-Men, and it's going to be like a fight between them and a Sentinel. We finally got that in X-Men Days of Future Past, one of the best comic book movies ever made. So it's really interesting how they're bringing that in again. And it's definitely, there's like interesting statues, which makes me believe that it is at the X Mansion,
Yeah,
because that
agreed.
seems like something that like
Yeah, in the
Charles
garden,
Xavier
yeah.
would have on the lawn and on
Well,
in the
yeah,
garden or
and
whatever.
we know that's where Jean's memorial was, and so
Mhm.
that makes sense. Yep.
So yeah, this is great to see. I love to, and this is coming from Ubox, who has, well, some of these are coming from Ubox, who previously showed us what the Supergirl set was like, with surrounded by the shipping containers and all that. So thanks to Ubox, or Unbox, for that. And this looks great. Can't wait. Moving on. But I believe, that is the last of MCU. I wasn't sure. My bad. But thank you for watching MCU Weekly. Not quite done yet. We still have, one more thing, and then going on to the previews for next week, we have, DCU Daily. Hello, guys. Welcome. Finally, DCU Daily. So, we are gonna, try to get through this as quickly as possible. And Liz, if you gotta leave, you gotta leave. It's no problem. But let's jump into it real quick. So, first things first, that I accidentally spoiled. Let's talk about Sergeant Rock, apparently. Yeah, this has been like, there's been a lot of like fake news in regards to this. A lot of outlets said that this was outright canceled, when that wasn't the truth. It was just kind of being put on hold, where when it was going to start filming, it was like, the winter months, and it wasn't going to be good for filming. So it seems like they're just kind of delaying it for the time being, while Luca Guadagnino works on either the American Psycho remake or something else. So that's just kind of be delayed, and they're just going to wait until the summer of next year to start filming, it seems like. But apparently Mikey Madison and Taylor Russell, I don't know who the latter is, were originally offered the role of Mademoiselle Marie in Sergeant Rock. And as it says right here, the Luca Guadagnino DC Studios film is currently on hold and not canceled. Liz, what are your quick thoughts on this? Do you think this, I know you don't really know the characters all that much, but would you like to see Mikey Madison or Taylor Russell in a comic book movie like Sergeant Rock, or you're like, nah?
I mean, sure. I like Taylor Russell. She was actually in Bones and All. Someone had said she was in Lost in Space. Yes, she was in Lost in Space. She was in Wave. She was in Escape Room. I like both actresses, but I also feel like, why are we talking about something that may or may not be dead? And I just feel like the topic is I don't know. Articles like this annoy me, because I feel like they're just purely clickbait, because it's like, we're talking about the hypothetical at this point, so I don't waste my time with it. But
that's
okay,
fair. But it's interesting thing, because I know Mikey Madison is a hot button topic, because she just won an Academy Award. So but yeah, Taylor Russell does look familiar. She said, one of the commenters said she was in Lost in Space, but I don't remember her from Lost in Space. But that's how it be. But apparently, moving on from things that may or may not happen, to another thing that may or may not happen. According to Humberto Gonzalez from The Wrap, Matt Reeves is expected to turn in the first, keyword being first, full draft of the Batman 2 script by Memorial Day. So, thoughts on this? Because it's definitely a little awkward, the fact that it's only the first full draft that we're getting on Memorial Day, and not like a second or third draft, and Matt Reeves is taking this long for one draft. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, if it's a good script, if we can start filming ASAP, great. If it turns out that he didn't get the draft by the deadline, I don't know. It's again, if he has stuff going on behind the scenes, good luck to him, more power to him. It would be nice if we could move along with this. But again, it is what it is.
Yeah. But we do, speaking of stuff like that, we do have a couple super chats from, just some geeky eye. Don't worry, we're getting to them now, so you can stop being a fucking nosy Nancy with this shit. Anyway, so the first one is in regards to the Batman. He said, "Hear me out. Matt Reeves should continue the Batman as a TV series instead of a film saga, so that audiences don't get confused at the box office." What do you think? This is a good idea or no?
No, and I hate it when movies go to TV shows, and I've said that historically on this show. I think that that's basically a death knell for the project, and we won't see another one again. They did it with the Penguin, but the Penguin didn't have it's a film. It was just a side character in a film for a couple
Right.
minutes, where they then built a storyline around him. This is something completely different. This is an extremely well-known character who's had a number of TV shows and movies and all of that. So, and we're coming out with more shows. So I feel like this is where it should be. This is the Batman. It should be in the film, and then keep the other TV show Batmans to their thing. I don't think that's the direction we should be headed.
Well, Elite Easy agrees with you. So yeah, I think I agree as well, because I feel like I just feel like that's a death knell. I don't really care about the confusion. If these movies do well, then who cares what, like, the confusion? It's like, all right, there's two Batman. I don't think people are going to be that stupid. I mean, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. So I think that people will just accept it and it'll be fine, and we're going to move on if this is still actually happening. So, I mean, I would like to see more spin-offs for TV shows like, Catwoman, or a Sofia Gigante show, like specifically her. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing any of that, because that would be really fun and awesome, build the world a little bit, but it seems like they're not going that way right now, even though we're kind of have like a big line in between, the first movie and the second movie, but obviously we'll see. But he did have another one, kind of more of a joke than anything. Leaked scene from the Batman Part 2. Batman, I have finally mastered the Spanish language. Alfred, sir, Gotham's criminal enterprise has switched to Portuguese. God damn it. Very cute. Thank you for giving us $10.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, it's just funny how it's just like we're not getting a first full draft until Memorial Day, if we're actually getting it by Memorial Day. And if Matt Reeves can't do that, then we are definitely very, very, very screwed. So, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if this is still happening. We'll see if we get that script by Memorial Day. But whatever it is. So it's just been apparently Matt Reeves has been sending in pages to DC for half a year. So it's like page by page. It's like, okay, cool. You get you get 3 this week. You get 2 this week. You get 5 this week. It's like, all right, bro, come on. Like, Jesus Christ. But let's get into, some comments. Be positive recommending a Batman Beyond movie. Yes, I've been saying that. But they finally have a blueprint every other draft with tweaks. I thought the Batman should have been a show anyway. Interesting. It felt like a show, like a bad show. All right. And then, oh, hey, Dan, can't believe the Batman 2 might finally be real. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
But we need a fantasy Batman, more like Affleck's Batman. I agree with that. I want more of like a supernatural-esque, not supernatural, but like a Batman in a supernatural world where he doesn't feel real, because I just think that's more interesting at this point. But yeah, the Elseworlds logo needs to happen sooner than later, but Gunn's Batman is going to be way different than grounded 80s noir. Yeah. Enterprising is very positive. It'll happen. I have faith. And Jim Carrey is a great bad guy and Cable Guy. I don't know why I talk about Cable Guy, but it's like I still want to be excited for the movie, but obviously we will have to see. I thought the first movie was good, nothing great, but I loved the show. I loved the Penguin. I thought that was so good, and I loved, the Daredevil showrunner eating his words, because guess what? Navel gazing and your show sucked. Didn't suck. I know I'm being hyperbolic. I'm just trying to be funny, so don't yell at me. But before we move on to the final parts of the show, we do have some interesting little comments for you guys. We have some comments. We have 6 comments, I believe. So we are going to be talking about those real quick before we move on. And first things first is Caleb Underwood. Well, he isn't here today either, so we're missing you here. Sorry I couldn't be here today. Peacemaker season 2 looks fire, and I called it with the 2 Peacemaker theories.
He did.
Yes, you did, buddy. Yes, you did. But love to see it. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic in regards to the show.
Agreed.
I want it to be good. I thought the first season was okay. I hope they learn from their mistakes of the first season and double down on all the things that worked. I think John Cena's great, even though Freddie Stroma's vigilante doesn't really match the character all that much. Neither does Peacemaker. He was still one of the best parts of the show. I liked the ensemble. I think they all did a really good job, and I think this is going to be more of a tongue-in-cheek way of showing multiversal antics. So I'm excited for that. I am excited for that. But Liz, I know you're more excited for me when it comes to Peacemaker season 2. So how excited are you? Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are you?
I mean, again, I didn't know what to expect. I knew nothing about the character aside from the bits in Suicide Squad and all that. But I really enjoyed the first season. It was very surprising. It was entertaining. So I saw the trailer for the second one. I was like, let's go. So I'm looking forward to it. I really do like John Cena. He seems like a decent guy. So I'm going to support the stuff that he's a part of. I think it's great.
I do. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be better than season 1. I hope. But yeah, Caleb Underwood calling the theory. But I think most people call that theory. Not trying to be mean, but you weren't the only one. Come on, man. Don't take all the credit. But next one we have with our favorite boy over here. Honestly, I would put. We were talking about this was from Tier List Tuesdays. This past Tuesday. Honestly, I would put Snyder on the D list because of Rebel Moon. Watched the theatrical and first part director's cut. After watching the director's cut, I didn't bother to watch the second part director's cut. It's very hard to make a movie, and yet he's making it too easy to make a bad movie. Felt like a movie that was made by someone who is a huge Zack Snyder fan and just went way too overboard on the things Snyder likes to do in his movies. I like Army of the Dead. Shocked that's not continuing. Well, I mean, there was Army of Thieves, right? There was I think that's what it was called with the German guy. I don't know his name. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much from what I heard with this. They manufactured BS and oh, we're gonna do a director's cut. We're gonna do a Snyder cut, guys. And it turned out to just be there's an extra half an hour of slow motion farming. All right, cool. But pretty much everybody I know watched this said it sucked. And I don't think Snyder is a D-list director. I think he's C-list because he's made a lot of good stuff in the past. It's just, it feels like everything past DC, he's just kind of making things for his overly wanky fan base. So, I mean, if they like it, cool, but it seems like nobody else is really watching his stuff anymore. He's just kind of a guy that had a lot of controversy who's past that, and now he's just making mediocre action movies. So, sorry, I liked Rebel Moon better when it was called Battle Beyond the Stars. But moving on to the next thing, we have Caleb Underwood coming in again. Best trailer of the year. James might give us the best Superman movie ever. Great. I would hope so. And I love that was one of my favorite. That was one of so many people's favorite moments from the trailer was the guy helping him. It's Superman. The reason Superman is great is because of the people around him, and he helps them out. We help you out. I love that mentality, and I love Caleb Underwood not being a troll for once and being happy about something. Thanks, Caleb. So when Caleb takes a break from trolling, then 5-Ash comes in and starts trolling. But we're really glad, Caleb, that you really liked the trailer and you really liked. I mean, we all really liked it here. We are all not stands. I'm not that crazy. There's still some things I don't like about the Superman movie. Some decisions I personally don't care for, but I'm still overall really, really excited for it. It was still a 9 out of 10 trailer for me. So absolutely love to see it. But next up, we were talking about in the trailer, we were talking about where the hammer of Baravia was laser blasting a building, and we didn't really know. I said that it was probably a Luthor Corps building because the skyscraper seemed overly modern, like the Luthor Corps building. However, May 8Z, who I think showed up at one point or is maybe still watching, I don't know, but I remember seeing them pop up earlier on in the stream. But at time code 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 56 seconds for the stream, it seems to be the Choco's building, the Martian Manhunter favorite food. It was written in the Daily Planet newspaper. So thank you for that, because I totally missed that. Because when you go back to that trailer, when he's doing that, you could see kind of like a presentation board in the office that he's laser blasting, and you could see that it's Chocos. And in the DC universe, Chocos are Oreos, and Oreos are Martian Manhunter's favorite food.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And to the point, actually, fun fact, and it's like there is a reason for it, because like his Martian biology like makes him more addicted to the ingredients in Chocos. So straight up, they had to have an intervention for him because he had an addiction to Chocos.
I love it.
And it was great. And then when one of the many times he died in the comics, they were holding his funeral. I forget who, but they left Chocos on his coffin, which was a very cute gesture. But yes, Martian Manhunter loves his Chocos. But I love seeing all the memorabilia and companies like Big Belly Burger and all that stuff showing up here. But it's definitely great to see. Now, that's not the last of them. Dan couldn't create banners for all of them, so I'm sorry, guys. The next two are just little banners on the bottom. But so yesterday, Dan froze like this. He went like this, and I'm like, are you not entertained? And so apparently Steven Anderson, who I don't know if he showed up today, but he laughed so hard when Dan froze his arms out in the air, and me riffing on you nearly made me piss myself. So Steven Anderson, I'm glad that my riffing and roasting can bring you some joy, but guys, make sure to go to the bathroom beforehand so we don't make you piss yourselves, or maybe keep a glass nearby. Maybe not a Superman glass, maybe a Lex Luthor glass. So, but thank you. And then the final thing, I think Kyle might have showed up, but Kyle Kaiswitter saying Stargirl was a great show. I was shocked how much I liked it. Yeah, great show. One of the best DC shows of all time. My friend even said that the last 15 minutes of the last episode is the best thing DC has ever done ever. So, and he's a big DC fan. So that's saying something. And Stargirl was such a great show. Like all 3 seasons, fantastic. The first one was definitely the best season, but the latter 2 were just as great. Not slightly less, but like I would say like first season was 10 out of 10. The next 2 were like 9s out of 10. Great show. Brec Basinger, we're talking about Brec Basinger. She was being interviewed for Final Destination Bloodlines. And so she was like, I want to play a villain in the DCU. So we'll see. I mean, prove me wrong. I can't see it, but prove me wrong. Because she's precious cinnamon roll that needs to be protected at all costs. Because she's a really good actor, and I hope better things for her now that she's part of a big horror franchise. But that is it for DCU Daily. But we're not quite done yet. We still have a little bit more of the show. Next up, we look ahead to Lilo and Stitch. The cutest little fur ball you can possibly imagine. Oh, not that one. This one. There it is. My bad. But I know you've said many times you're going with your nephew, right? To see this.
Yep. Taking my
going
nephews
across
to
the
see it.
country.
Going across the country to see it with my nephews, with my family. I won't be seeing it opening weekend, but we'll be seeing it the following weekend, and I'm sure it's going to be just as crazy in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
Please, half the schools will be out at that point. I can't wait. It's going to be great. The kids are going to love it. I'm going to love it. all the merchandise is just adorable, and I'm looking forward to whatever popcorn bucket we get. I mean, I'm all in for this bad boy. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited for I'm just kind of
I
sick
mean,
of
come
Disney live
on.
act.
Come
Here's the
on.
thing.
Look at that.
I know.
Come
I'm like, I
on.
could just watch the animated movie, like, and it's gonna be
So
better
cute.
anyway.
I love it. I love it.
But I will say he looks cuter than what I thought he was gonna look like,
Look
so
at
I'll
him with
give
his
them that.
hand on his belly and everything. Oh my
But
God. Adorable.
but I just am kind of sick of Disney live action remakes at this point.
That's
Like,
fine.
I'm
And
sure
that's
I'm
fair.
sure it'll be great. I'm sure the kids will love it. If I'm really interested, I can go back to the animated movie on Disney Plus and watch it.
Yeah.
But no, obviously no tomato meter yet. But very exciting for the kiddos and the millennials that want to relive their childhoods
That's
and
me.
all that fun stuff. So and the Gen X that want to relive their childhoods.
I'm still a
So
millennial, thank you.
oh well, you said like and me, so you're saying I thought you were saying I'm not a millennial, so I was like,
Oh no,
I'll
no.
throw it in there too.
And me. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch looks like a fun time. I hope you enjoy it. But now we are going on to Tom Cruise's suicide mission, aka Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This is. I mean, can you tell me I'm wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. This man wants to kill himself on air, on the big screen. Like
I
feel like
mean, you know, whatever brings in the ratings. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. Remember back when it was called Dead Reckoning Part 2. But I'm excited for it. I love this cast. I mean, who doesn't love Haley Atwell? Who doesn't love Simon Pegg? Who doesn't love Ving Rhames?
And
Palm Clementif.
Yeah.
It's fine. But like the action scene that almost killed him. Good times.
And is Vanessa Kirby back in it too? I love her. I mean, come on.
And
Come
you got
on.
you have Ron Swanson and Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett, baby.
And you have Holt McCallany from Mindhunters. So
yeah, dude.
Boom.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
I'm in.
Great
I'm
cast.
in.
Bing.
And Hannah
Love it.
Whitingham is in it. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting about her. Yes, she's also in
Yeah,
it.
it's a stacked
Ted Lasso
cast.
fame.
Stacked.
Hell yeah.
Stacked, babes.
But
great.
we were talking about this before, how it does have an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's nice if you care about Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, good times, fun times. Love to see it. I can't wait for Mission Impossible. I already have my tickets. I'm going with my parents to see it, and we're going on the opening day. Unfortunately, they didn't have any Dolby screenings, and I'm pissed because I wanted to see that.
Come to my theater, man. Come to my theater.
I already had my tickets, and my parents have weird schedules, so we got.
That's the only way I will be seeing it. So I probably won't see it opening weekend, but I will be seeing it in Dolby because I refuse to watch something like that anywhere else. So
yeah, like I hopefully I can maybe even exchange a ticket, because I'm shocked that it wasn't in Dolby, but who knows? Maybe they're saving it for Lilo and Stitch, which is weird because it's like, why Lilo and Stitch if that is the case? But whatever it is, I'm gonna see this.
Well, I think Tom cares more that it's on IMAX, so I think that's where Tom wants it to be.
Yes.
So if you get
because he didn't get that with Oppenheimer, because
right.
Right. But yeah, I'm super stoked for this. I know like it's kind of a mixed bag at this point, even though the critics seem to be very positive. I'm still super stoked for it and love Tom Cruise. I'm more positive about Tom Cruise's career from here on out than you are, but
I'm not negative about his career. Like I think this is the only time he should be allowed to leave the house. And so far, I've gotten my wish, so it's great.
Sure. But that is it for today's show, guys. Long show, kind of sped through the end there, but we didn't have a lot of DCU news today. We only had mainly MCU stuff, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But just going through the comments a little bit. Hosea just coming in. Oh, Hosea is asking you, Liz, what did you think of the Superman trailer?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. I think we finally got a little bit of, background, a little story, have an idea of what it's going to be about. I'm looking forward to it. I think they did a good job.
And Hosea is like, Roger that. I didn't notice you said it in the comments. Anyway, my bad.
All good. All good, babe.
But enterprising, be positive. Hosea coming in towards the end. 5 Ash. Hugo Millie. Hey, Hugo Millie. Sorry that we missed you. But all y'all coming in towards the end. Angelica Kate. They watched the movie Hurry Up Tomorrow. It's not a great film for me. Yeah, it's been getting bombed.
Oh, really? I was thinking about seeing it. Okay.
It's apparently really bad, and The Weeknd's acting is even worse. So sorry about that. I mean, you could still see it.
Now I almost want to see it though.
Yeah, hey, go see it.
Now you're kind of, I'm kind of.
Go see it. Like
okay.
maybe you'll enjoy it.
I'll catch it next week.
But Elite Easy E, just some geeky guys showing up. This chick Elizabeth Marvel, she's so annoying. Kidding. But thank
I live
y'all
with her,
for...
man. I know it.
But thank y'all for watching, as well as a ton of other comments that maybe people earlier on in the show were commenting. But thank you all for watching. We love and appreciate all your comments. We share the post live show comments here on Fridays. I didn't realize that it was only Fridays, but my bad. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to comment both pre and post show, and make sure to subscribe so you know when we go live, especially clicking the bell, because
sometimes
YouTube's algorithm, it's a bitch. Sometimes it doesn't show up in your subscription box. It's annoying. I know. It's the cruel hand we've been dealt with, and YouTube has no competition. So that's what we got to deal with. But I still hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I hope you guys have a fantabulous weekend. And fantabulous. That's my thing now. I'm gonna say fantabulous from now on. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But Liz, finally glad to have you back. Missed you so much. I'm sure the people missed you. Bridget was a nice little tease for that from yesterday, but we got you again. So glad to see it. But thank you all for watching. And remember, stitch nipples?